Yes.
Yes.
Oh, this is a historic occasion. This is Satsang IRL 2.
Yes.
You think we'll do more of these?
69 तक तो करना चाहिए, फिर उसके बाद देखते।
But we are doing this once a month. तो 69 को कितना ऐसा लगेगा कि will it be one
Once
month?
a month. 69 months.
Yeah, so how many years is that?
मैं बोलता हूँ नेक्स्ट
That
वाला ही डालते हैं,
is
सत्संग लाइव 69 बात
12
खत्म।
for the
Hmm.
between 4 and 5 years.
अच्छा, यानी एक और टर्म
Just closer to 5 years.
Maybe counting is also Western conspiracy.
Yeah, time is cyclical. So I can see you guys on YouTube. So will we only have like 4 or 5 at a time? ऐसा है क्या YouTube पे? Is there a limit, Jimmy? या जो बात करेगा वो आएगा क्या?
नहीं, जिसका वीडियो ऑन है उसका टाइल आएगा यूट्यूब पे।
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Hi guys, this is a special live. We didn't do one in the middle of the week because we are planning this for the end of the week, and we are here with some of our frequent flyers and some new joinees also with us. So this is a Q&A like we do in our online shows, but we stream it on YouTube. A lot of our members join also for this one. If you're not a member yet, you can hit the join button on the channel. Have you guys seen the new video that came out just yesterday, I think, or 2 days back? So planning a few more depending on how this one goes. So do check it out. कल शो है मुंबई में, उसका सिर्फ 5-10 सीट बचा है, किसको आना है तो आ जाइएगा। इसके बाद नहीं कर रहे, डायरेक्ट जैन में होगा मुंबई का शो, वो भी लेट जैन में। But then I'll be heading out, no, and I'm doing shows in Ahmedabad, Hyderabad next week, फिर थाने, पुणे, Delhi, then 4 shows in Bangalore. Christmas week I'm always there, and I'll end the year in Goa, and even that show there's only a few seats left. That was the 28th of December, and then that's the end of the year. That's it. It's already over. So those are live shows. If you guys want to come, let's kickstart today. We don't have a topic like we do in the weekday satsang. This is a pure Q&A. So I keep the floor open to people who are here with me on the panel. Whatever's on your mind, could be a question, suggestion, could be a poem also. Like, I mean, I will judge you for that, but you can still share whatever's on your mind.
So, गुरुजी आप थकते क्यों नहीं? Let us begin in true Karen Bedi style.
Oh wow, what a pertinent question. Cutting edge journalism. Actually, I don't know if it's age or I'm just tired of bullshit now. I do get tired. Like, I mean, I still work out, obviously, more than ever before, in a way. But I think everything else is so stressful in your environment, right from the pollution to the traffic to the noise. Like, you go out once in a day, you can't go out again. So I did this Cyrus wala one episode, no, just 2 days back, Cock and Bull ka. Then just me and Sam after a long time, and a great episode, a lot of fun. Almost like we didn't miss Meta only somehow. A lot of fun. But then when after I went home, then I couldn't do anything else for the यही होता है फिर नो एक बार I don't know if it is more mental or if it is physical, but हम तो थक जाते हैं. I think I should have more mushrooms. No, what do you think, Shweta? Maybe that's
Yes, I think mushrooms will help. I have different question. Do you think pollution is like a substance which you snort and then your brain goes fuzzy for the rest of the day? Do you think it can be an addictive substance?
I've seen auto walas sniffing the kerosene wala handkerchief. So if that's a clue, I saw this one very nice animation. This pot-bellied guy is flying through the airs. It says Indians evolving after 50 more years of pollution, and now they can fly into the stratosphere. वो होगा शायद. This is a big experiment that we are doing. No? Never before in humanity has so much apathy been practiced in such a big population successfully. So I think we'll see by the end of our life at least. आज एनिमी बोल रहे शिलाजीत वाह ऑलरेडी
So true to my character name, should I request Shri sir to do something about pollution in Bombay? Do you need my great pleadings?
She's all over the place, right? Today, like, as I mean, she had been talking for a while now, but today she's gone like bonkers, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And wasn't she like part of the establishment? Like, वो राज्यसभा सीट किसका है उसका किरण बेदी का?
Pondicherry, na?
So that's BJP, right?
Yeah.
फिर क्या है? The नाटक है. Or I don't know, like our expectations are so low now that even if somebody says the right thing, you're suspicious.
I mean, she compared it to COVID days, na? She said something like, just like you guided us during COVID, can
Oh,
you please guide us now?
अच्छा ये तो that kind of a like आप सी हमें बजा
हाँ.
not like a cap. अच्छा अच्छा it was like a request, not a complaint. My God. See, everybody has the investments that they need to secure, no? इसका भी होगा कुछ कहीं ना कहीं. I mean, of course, in her time, she was a legend, but the times have changed, isn't it?
Yes.
So for people in the chat, if you want to join the Zoom, we kept the link open for, I don't know, like what, 10, 15 more minutes. So you can join the panel. Otherwise, we'll keep an eye on the chat as well. We got one super chat, the first one from Sabyasachi Patra, who has said India is the most polluted country. Thoughts? Well, it's not the most polluted, but we are like just this African country of the piche hai, so we can be happy about that maybe. What are the kind of workouts you do, Puneet? Also by Sabyasachi. I'm old school, dude. I just do weights 4 days a week. No, each hit each body part once a week. Do it intensely, but औकात में रह के करने का यही है. That's it. I always thought cardio was boring, and I waited long enough, and then the science came out which said that अगर करना है तो wait करो, cardio से इतना कुछ नहीं होता है. So yeah, and I do intense training. So what happens is invariably your heart rate is elevated for like over an hour. So that is at least mild cardio. और वैसे भी इंडिया में आप भागोगे रास्ते पे तो मल्टीपल रिस्क फैक्टर्स आर इन्वॉल्व. आपको ऑटो वाला उड़ा के जा सकता है. आपके अंदर सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड तो जा ही रहा है. Plus the roads are what they are, and no running on concrete and hard surfaces is hard on the joints anyway. So of course swimming would be nice, but then people pee in it in the pool. So yeah, weights it is quite simple actually. Anyone else on our panel? Next question. I see that Sam has joined. Sorry, Sam, we missed you with the code by a whisker. Next time, just we'll mail you the link. That's the least we can do.
It always happens. It's the second time.
Yeah, no, I remember. So we are still new to this membership thing. I think I'll figure it out soon enough.
Because the moment the link is open, I take the tickets. So
Acha, so then we should do it immediately. Jamie, can we do it immediately, or does it get generated afterwards?
क्या है मतलब immediately म्हणजे
तो जो अपना member का होता है discount code.
immediately करते हैं ना अपन.
अच्छा ये कोड कहाँ पे
link
मिलता
तो
है?
पहले ही open है ना.
डिस्काउंट कोड?
Discount code has to be given by Puneet. तो he'll
नेक्स्ट टाइम
post
पूछना
it on the
पड़ेगा.
community.
No,
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 discount
post
code goes in the community tab on the members section.
Yeah, like given by me, I
YouTube
mean, it's not like a numerology thing. I'll come up with something else. It's just that after the event goes live, then we generate the code from the backend. So there's a little bit of lag there, but we'll try to like bridge that.
ओके,
I
कहाँ पे
tried last
मैंने
time's code,
टाउनस्क्रिप्ट पे
but it
जाके
didn't
बुक किया
work.
था ये.
किस पे?
टाउनस्क्रिप्ट से बुक किया था लिंक. द लिंक दैट वाज इन योर स्टेटस एक्चुअली. वहां से बुक किया था. वहां पे कोई कूपन कोड नहीं था.
हाँ, coupon code is in the YouTube communities tab.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah, because that we have to give it for the members only. Vesa.
Okay. So
And
next time I will check the community here on the YouTube.
I know this is complicated, but then this is what YouTube wants me to do. So it's either this or I sell out more in some other way.
So फिर प्लान है आगे जाके कि put a paywall on YouTube like Kamra did for your content.
I want more people to see, as many people to see as possible. Paywall karna hi nahi.
Okay.
That's not the point. Just that this is like a limited panel anyway. So, no, we keep
Yeah.
on for the members. So because if we have 20, 30 people here, then everybody may not get a chance to chime in. So Chachi is really into health, it seems. And there's two more super chats as a follow-up. Is saying cardio on treadmills, then no, or sports very much needed for the heart. I agree, dude. But like, if I had to make a choice, no, then I'll do weights instead. There's only so much time you can give to the gym. आपको और भी चीज करनी है लाइफ में. और इंडिया में कहाँ स्पोर्ट कहाँ कुछ फैसिलिटी है किधर भी. और नो लाइक लेवल ही नहीं है. पहली बात तो दैट नो लेवल होता है ना, ट्रू लेवल इंडिया में किधर भी नहीं है. ना रास्ते पे है, ना घर पे है, ना ग्राउंड में है. तो लाइक मतलब नहीं है. कभी कभी आई माइट डू अ ट्रेडमिल वंस इन अ व्हाइल, बट आई फील लाइक आई एम वेस्टिंग माय टाइम. बट एक्चुअली थिंग इज आई वॉक अ लॉट regardless, no, because I've never owned a vehicle in my life. I use public transport. Even when I'm traveling to other cities, मैं वहाँ पे मेट्रो ले रहा हूँ. कहाँ कहाँ से कनेक्शन है नहीं है, आप रास्ता
Hmm.
टप के जा रहे हो, मैं बैकपैक लेके जा रहा हूँ, तो मेरा कार्डियो हो जाता है वैसे तो. Of course, I mean, I do aspire to an even higher elite level of fitness. जहाँ पे I'm doing calisthenics also, no, and I'm doing like no top tier cardio as well. But then I'll have to become a trophy wife to do that. No, I have work to do. So how many drinks and smokes in a week? Well, none, nearly none actually. यार लाइक अभी जरूरत नहीं ना. अभी सरकार ने सबके लिए हवा में रख दिया स्मोक, तो फिर मैं अलग से क्यों खरीदूं इस चीज के.
Good point.
Yeah, Kailash Shankar is saying do a podcast with Kamra. Well, someday.
Yeah, long due.
Yeah.
Puneet, what do
Yeah.
what do you think of the argument versus like pollution and development? क्योंकि कई लोग ही कहते हैं जब development चाहिए pollution होता है ना. So
Yeah.
what is your thoughts on that?
The thing is that the problem has been solved by the world. It's just about how much self-respect the country has and how much they value the people. So when industries first started in the UK and then in Europe, like 200 years back or something, of course there was huge pollution, right? Like there was soot everywhere. And we did not know back then how much is affecting you directly. But now we know. Same with even just cigarettes, like no forget industry or development. Right? It was being advertised to women also, like as early as like 60, 70 years back, right? But now we know better. But DDT was being sprayed like liberally to kill off germs, no, and in swimming pools in the US, no, after the war even. But now we know better. Leaded petrol up to 20, 30 years back was a thing, right? I mean, we have seen ourselves ads of leaded and unleaded petrol in India also. But now you know that it is hugely damaging, right? And now that we know all of those things across the world, and if we still choose to do all of this, that is leading to the pollution knowingly, then it simply proves that we do not value our people and our people themselves don't have self-respect. It just shows you in very, very poor light. When you see the sources of pollution, huge part is construction in the bigger cities at least, right? और कंस्ट्रक्शन में जो भी वो बोलते हैं कैनोपी लगाने का, होस्ट डाउन करने का पाइप का, ट्रक को कवर करने पीछे से, ऑल द लॉज एग्जिस्ट बट नोबडी फॉलोज. एंड इफ समबडी डज नॉट फॉलो, हु इज punishing them? तो इंसेंटिव भी नहीं है, डिसइंसेंटिव भी नहीं है. So it's a complete failure of the system. And then of course there are levels of argument. One is what you said, that even China went through this phase and then eventually it got better. But China का जो गमशन है वो यहाँ पे मुझे तो दिख नहीं रहा है. And even they had it bad, but I don't see. Eventually in the long run we'll all be dead, like Dr. Manmohan Singh said. तो ये तो आप knowingly कर रहे हो ना. Now there are many industries which are hugely toxic and polluting, and they are being moved from the west to India. तो कोई प्लांट है जिसको डिकमीशन कर दिया यूरोप में, अपना लोग उसको कबाड़ी के भाव पे लेके आते हैं, फिर यहाँ पे सेटअप करता है. जो ऑलरेडी वहाँ पे प्रूवन है, इसके ऊपर कोर्ट केस हो चुका है, वो यहाँ का इंडस्ट्रियल लेके उसको पता है यहाँ पे रूल है ही नहीं है, तो उसको मैं बैंड कर सकता हूँ. सो लाइक जीरो केयर फॉर द एनवायरमेंट. एंड अगेन एनवायरमेंट बहुत बड़ा वर्ड है. you're doing it for yourself only. अब खुद के लिए करो ना. सेव दी अर्थ का बातें नहीं है, तो सेव योर ओन सोल. So I think it just shows us in very bad light globally, and the garbage you see around you, that same apathy, multiplied 1,000 times is what you breathe in the air that you're taking in. So I think it's just a complete failure of the leadership also.
वो बोलते हैं सेव द अर्थ वगैरह कुछ नहीं है. अर्थ तो दे विल बी इट विल बी देयर.
Yeah,
All other animals will be there.
yeah,
It's about us.
yeah.
The climate change is going to affect us, not Earth.
Carlin said it, no? 30 years back, he said it. The planet is fine, the people are fucked.
Yeah.
It's still the same. Uh, Arun Kohli has punched in with a supercharge for the first time, I think. We got about 100 people watching. If you just tuned in, do hit the like button, guys. It's not a usual satsang. This is satsang IRL, and we have a panel with us, and we take questions from them and from the chat as far as possible. So anyone else, please go ahead.
एक अपने को सुपर चैट आया फ्रॉम सभ्य साची पात्रा इज आस्किंग हाउ मेनी ड्रिंक्स एंड स्मोक्स इन अ वीक पुनीत.
वो मैं ले लिया, dude. You went on a piss break तभी.
See, the point is, Puneet, ये सवाल जेमी के लिए होना चाहिए.
नहीं, Jamie, are you still into? You don't work out anymore, do you?
No, but I'm gonna start soon. That's the this thing. कि अभी थोड़ा ऐसा so the point is
Resolution
कि
नहीं है
ऐसा
क्या?
लड़कीबाजी थोड़ा कम हो गया तो ऐसा वर्कआउट भी मैंने कम कर दिया ऐसा.
अच्छा, मोटिवेशन नहीं रहा.
Yes, there's no output of that thing. So ऐसा but now I'm realizing कि उसका output is not लड़कीबाजी but health and longevity. So अभी I'm going back to it. So
Finally.
Got that? Okay.
yeah.
I had heard लौंडेबाजी, लड़कीबाजी में पहली बार सुना. You guys
अभी वो लाइव है ना जेमी.
have.
ही हैज अ रेप टू प्रोटेक्ट. लास्ट सत्संग में बताया ना जेमी कि हाउ पॉपुलर ही इज, व्हाट इज हिज स्वाइप राइट रेट.
Yeah,
गर्ल्स आर स्वाइपिंग राइट, लेफ्ट, राइट एंड सेंटर नो ऑन हिम.
What? ये कहाँ हो रहा है? इतना इजी नहीं है मेरे लिए प्लीज.
From the dating वाला सत्संग में where you give all the tips and tricks.
हाँ, so I have tips and tricks because it's hard, right? अगर easy होता तो मैं I wouldn't have given a shit about that.
अच्छा.
हाँ.
कैरन आपको याद होगा, उसने कहा जॉ लाइन और मनी, आइडियली बोथ.
आप यहाँ दर्शन दोगे तो चांसेस बढ़ेंगे या नहीं, क्या लगता है?
या जेमी, फेस रिवील के लिए लोग बोल रहे हैं अभी भी तुमको.
अरे तो क्या फेस रिवील में 1,000 रुपए में थोड़ी फेस रिवील मैं पूरा अपना मैं मेरा और घर वालों का पूरा
नहीं, पैसों का नहीं है. आपके चांसेस बढ़ेंगे या नहीं बढ़ेंगे
अच्छा,
वाइट स्वाइप
वैसा.
के?
ओके ओके. नहीं,
वो भी है ना मोटिवेशन.
the women who watch my satsang are like, no, एज ब्रैकेट भी अलग है और सोशल इकोनॉमिक स्टैंडर्ड भी अलग है जेमी का मार्केट सेगमेंट से. Isn't it, Jimmy?
I think it's how should I put this? अगर even if
पोलाइटली मैं मारेगी.
नहीं, it's polite only. I'm saying even if my chances increase, so okay, after revealing my face, ठीक है, assuming that is the case, even then I won't do it. Okay, so that's the
It's too big a price to pay. No, he's undercover for whatever reason.
हाँ.
Yeah.
Okay.
और chances I can increase myself ऐसा life के through face reveal करने की जरूरत नहीं है.
Look at the confidence, Shweta. Then he said it.
Yeah.
इंस्टाग्राम प्रोफाइल किसने लीक कर दिया तो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा जेमी का.
प्रोफाइल लीक नहीं यार, इतना क्या ही लीक करेगा, उसका किधर फोटो ही नहीं, किधर भी नहीं है उसका.
Yeah.
ये टोटली ऑफ द ग्रिड.
Yeah.
अरे डेटिंग आपको छोड़ के ना.
Yeah, but then,
And even there I'm off the grid, so
No starting acts for any stand-up show?
huh?
No starting acts for any stand-up show done by him? Starting acts वगैरह करता नहीं है?
ओपनिंग है.
The entire
Opening act, sorry.
couple of eras ago, तो उसका तो कुछ नहीं रहेगा उसका.
मतलब लोगों ने देखा है उसको, मतलब those who know, those who know they know.
Yeah, Jamie, look at the intrigue, dude. Amazing.
घर के बाहर जाता है.
Reddit पे थ्रेड बनेगा तुम्हारा एक दिन.
Shit.
So on the Cyrus का episode, they were asking me कि like some women's cricket team में से जो कोई लड़की है is about to get married to somebody, and then she found out that
Yeah.
the fiance, who's an editor or a musician or something in the film industry, she cheated on her. So they called off the wedding, and this is a Reddit thread.
Hmm.
And he's asking, this is one of the stories in the AMA, and I told Cyrus, none of these things interest me at all, so I have no opinion on this. Like,
देखो, they don't interest you. It was going to be a question, but on this, let us ask Jamie, क्योंकि Jamie Reddit प्राणी है, ऐसा लगता है मेरे को.
but वो क्रिकेट नहीं फॉलो करता है ना. Jamie, have you heard of the story?
अरे
I
पर
have heard of
कॉन्स्पिरेसी
this
थियरी
story.
तो फॉलो करता है ना, ऑफ कोर्स पता है उसको.
Yes, I've heard of this story, but again, I've heard these stories from those Insta, क्या बोलते हैं लोग जो ऐसे बस कंटेंट क्रिएशन के नाम पे कंटेंट डालते.
पिच तो कैमरा.
Yes.
तो ऐसा पूरा आँख खोल खोल के पता है दोस्तों क्या हुआ, मैं आपको बताता हूँ नेक्स्ट 30 सेकंड में पूरा
आपको 31 दिसंबर के पहले ये चीजें जरूर करनी है आपको. Yeah, that scares the shit.
Oh man, this is the weirdest shitty content out there. I'm still surprised. अगर लाख लोग भी देखते मेरा वीडियो, I'm still surprised कि fuck ये लोग अभी भी देख रहे हैं. No, from all the black hole, the muck of content that you have to wade through to get to anything of value. We got a super chat from Crashy 112 asking book recommendations. So, like we do this every time, and I'm sure there will be some book recommendations flying around in the chat as well. Latest thing that I have read. Let's see. I think we spoke about it once, but it's called In the Shadow of the Gods, and it's a history of all the emperors of the world. I like that one. It's a British historian. I think it's from Oxford, if I'm not mistaken. There will be some bias, racially speaking, but it's a thorough work, thorough, I would say, in the expanse of it. And it compares empires, of course, geographies and time zones, like from China to Europe. And then you start seeing the similarities between the kingdoms and some even in today's so-called democracy. So that is one book that's been on my mind recently. If I were to recommend very randomly to you, then any book of Osho you pick up at any time, always a safe bet in my view. Two books that stand out for me from even Osho's table of hundreds of books is a book called Simply Fear and one book called Courage. And those two books sort of, I would say, shifted my consciousness a little bit. So just top of my mind, these few. And of course, I've been talking about Manu's new book, which is Why the Poor Don't Kill Us. So that one of the most recent or the more relevant books.
So we have book recommendations from panelists also.
Great. Could you read them out, Shweta?
Okay, so Ekta has suggested Careless People. She says it's a good read. Lamas has suggested Blink, The Power of Thinking Without Thinking.
Blink uska hai na, the guy with the weird hair.
उसका चेहरा मुझे याद नहीं. मार्कम गॉडवेल या ऐसा कुछ नाम है.
Malcolm Gladwell, ऐसा कुछ नाम है ना उसका.
गॉडवेल या मार्कम गॉडवेल. कैसा प्रोनाउंस करते हैं मुझे नहीं पता.
Yeah.
Gladwell.
But after his book about the better angels of our nature, and then when he got called out for that, and then he wrote a follow-up book to Series S, I sort of lost, I wouldn't say lost respect, but then I'm a little more careful about what people like him say now.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Like, I would not align with all of the ideas he has. This book was a good read, I felt.
Yeah, no, of course, he's a genius in whatever he does. But the thing is, like, beyond a certain point of popularity, to simply exist, you will have to co-opt the people in power, and they will make you say things. Very difficult to be your own person beyond a certain level of fame. Or you go into exile like Kamra. So if the people in power don't get you, the opposition will get you. And to be away from it all, then you need that vantage point at least. Not for, but at some cost, of course.
That way, it is becoming difficult to like even vouch for anyone. Kind of, as you said, up beyond a certain amount of fame.
Yeah, and also throughout history, also very few individual actors have persisted. Right? Like artists being individual is only last few decades. Before that, all the artists that we know of, they survived, and you see their work largely because they had the patronage of the court, or the church, right? So then, like, how compromised were those voices, isn't it? So for an individual to stand out across like history, very difficult, especially for a completely free individual.
Do you have any like Raje like from India in mind that like had a moral compass like that? Like that actually like you look up to the Hanak or like a future thinker in a sense of oh they
Any,
incentive
any,
arts, yeah.
any what Raja you said?
Raja, yeah, like a king prince, yeah.
Oh no, kings though, no chance. The I mean, the very fact that you are a king, it precludes you, because there is no way to be a king without having blood on your hands. And always the victors write the history. So, and only more recently, given our current politics, now we got into this all, ये हमारा राजा, ये उनका राजा, राजा तो राजा था, राजा किसका भी नहीं था, राजा सिर्फ खुद का काम करता था. तो
Mhm.
तो ये हमारा रिलीजन, ये हमारा किंग था, उसने उसको हराया, इसने उसको हराया. It is all, this is the most childish thing you can do. Like, things are bad right now, but then throughout history they've been way more bloody. And beyond anything, democracy is a way of at least rotating power between different evil people without too much blood being spilled. Otherwise, throughout history, whenever power changes hand, there would be bloodshed. Right? At
Yeah.
least at the court level, if not an outright war or a coup or a takeover of some sort. So we no king do. Like, I mean, fuck kings too. Just like in today's world now, we say billionaires should not exist the same way the kings should not exist. And in
Yeah.
fact, the kings have been replaced by billionaires, which is very tricky because the billionaires of today have more power than a lot of kings of yore. And they go around acting like they're one of us, but they're not. They are practically royalty. So, Harari puts it very well in his the main book, that he said that throughout history, kings used to dress opulently because they wanted to project the kind of power that they did not actually have. Today's politicians and leaders and billionaires, they dress down because they have so much power they have to hide that power so that they can walk amongst us, गमछा डाल के, अरे हम भी आप में से ही हैं. मेरा बहुत पुराना रिश्ता है कांदिवली से. That kind of speeches that you keep hearing from the man wherever he goes. So no kings, no favorites, no nothing. Fuck all of those guys. Maybe never see one again. And in the chat, Misanthrope, as usual, has some good recommendations, I'm sure. So anybody looking for book echoes, there's there in the chat. Is there anything else in our chat that I missed, Shweta, or anyone who has noticed?
No, I have a book recommendation, and this is going to be a little jarring because left audience is also economically left. And I'm going to recommend a very capitalist book, but
Sure.
I think even liberal people should read
Hmm.
and understand how the capitalist mind works and how they think of business. And I just finished this. I don't know if it is visible. It is Mirror. Sorry. The Psychology of Money.
Yeah.
Morgan Housel. Really interesting take on how to look at a business and how to plan personal finances as well as like career finances and savings and lots of such real life
Uh,
suggestions.
Practical and useful at a personal level.
Yeah, very. And if you look at it from a business point of view, like a macro point of view, then you truly understand a capitalist mind.
And is it like rich dad, poor dad?
No, 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 no. It's different.
Okay. The, the people who are into business, into power, they of course look at the world very differently. And then when they hear people like us cribbing about poverty, and it's like they almost pity you, because they feel you're wasting time. There's so much capital to be built, opportunities are being missed. You know, we'll find a solution along the way. देख लेंगे कुछ हो जाएगा. No, and this belief that no, if we just keep chasing money long enough, it will eventually solve everyone's problem. No, this whole myth called trickle down economics, no, which was pushed by the biggest economists of the day. And like Malcolm Gladwell, now you realize that they are all on parole. Or if not on direct parole, at least they were in the know, and they pushed this shit theory across the world. That is okay, to let the people at the top steal a little bit more. It's okay to give them subsidies. It's okay to let the big guys get away with it because they're too big to fail. Eventually, when you let them steal billions of dollars or just make up money out of thin air on arbitrage, eventually it will trickle down to the guy on the cycle rickshaw in India. And that never happened. And it is still not happening. To the point where you see all around you like absolute poverty and just fucking garbage everywhere in the country, and they can still show you some GDP growth क्योंकि वो जा कहाँ रहे दो तीन लोग का जेब में जा रहे हैं सिर्फ. Yeah. So and they back the biggest contracts in infrastructure, and they just count all of it in the GDP. अभी आपने ओवर प्राइस ब्रिज बनाया, फिर ब्रिज गिर गया, उसका रिपेयरिंग सब जीडीपी में आ रहा है. तो प्रोग्रेस तो घंटा हो रहा है, गिनती बढ़ रहा है बस. All the metros that are going empty across the country, not one metro is over half capacity that they themselves have predicted. So, and imagine the huge amount of money, that same money put elsewhere, even within transportation, if we had just built a good fleet of buses, where would we be right now comparatively? So, capitalist view of the world is very different. I don't know what you. I envy them sometimes. So they not only do they not worry about so much apathy and suffering in the world, at the same time they feel they are the saviors in some way. No, by chasing this absolute greed, they are the ones who are helping more than anyone else talking about a social cause. And people like Manu Joseph, although I like his writing and it comes up in the book that goes, he is dead against people in the social sector. He actively pokes fun at them. Sometimes I feel he's only rage bait because he knows कि वही लोग पढ़ेंगे उसका book. क्योंकि किसी और को तो आता भी नहीं English. No? But he keeps saying humanity student A, humanity student O. No, and the thing is that you need balance, in your own life, in your family, and in society as well. For 20, 30 years, this country has focused solely on producing engineers and MBAs, and that too of mediocre quality at best. And you see where it has gotten us. And the same MBAs and engineers, they fail to spot the worst fake news. So despite all the logical thinking that the course is supposed to have taught them, all the vocational training that they have, they still can't spot propaganda from a mile. But an art student can.
See, but in engineering, just imagine the training that they go through. As kids, very formative kids, they are going to JEE coaching class. उधर उनको मार मार के पढ़ाया जा रहा है, सिखाया जा रहा है to conform and think within such a small box. And every time they veer away from it, they are beaten down back into the binary.
Yeah.
Their entire education is binary, and then they become adults and get out into the real world and are working, and then you want them to question authority, you want them to question decisions. Kaisa na, you have taught them only right and wrong for 20 साल 22 साल, and अब now you're saying कि तुम ग्रे स्केल में सोचो, look at shades, and it's unfair ना. Whereas a humanities student is reading literature at a minimum.
जो obnoxious lies है,
We are not brought up to question, na. And the very fact that you are subscribing to these courses, like it, engineering is not at fault. The fault is ours that we do it out of force. It is, if only ambitious people and if only people who really wanted to build something went into engineering, engineering would be great. It's just that one numbers, तो कोई भी हल्का सा शिफ्ट ऑल्सो इज अ लॉट इन नंबर्स. हम लोग ने इतने इंजीनियर्स प्रोड्यूस कर लिए हैं एंड अब इंजीनियरिंग पे बिल फट रहा है कि उन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया, बिकॉज हम लोग इतना ज्यादा लेवल पे, लाइक वी चर्नड आउट इंजीनियर्स, लाइक यू आर चर्निंग समथिंग आउट ऑफ मशीन. पहले ही एजुकेशन सिस्टम इज नॉट इन प्लेस, पहले ही पेरेंटिंग एंड कंडीशनिंग इज नॉट इन प्लेस, एंड ऊपर से वी आर forcing people to choose and go into professions. तो outcome is going to be like हम लोग, मतलब it's like we are sowing something else and we are expecting something else. It's not going to happen. The whole loop is a problem. The whole circle is a problem. If I tell my child तेरे को engineer ही बनना है, वो खराब ही बनेगी. एंड ऊपर से अगर उसको मैं खराब इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में डालूं और ऊपर से उसको अगर खराब इंजीनियरिंग टीचर मिले, तो मैं कैसे एक्सपेक्ट करूंगी कि मेरे बच्चे में एम्पथी भी आए, नॉलेज भी आए? मतलब आर सिस्टम इज ओनली फक्ड मोर देन यू नो, like blaming the education per se. I think it's the whole system that is at fault.
Also the problem is syllabus पुराना होता
यही
है और
बच्चों को
industry
नहीं
demands
सिखा
अलग
रहे
होती
हैं
है.
ना. सॉरी.
Syllabus is पुराना होता है
इंजीनियरिंग
और industry demands अलग होते हैं. So there is a gap between what you learn and what you have to perform in the industry.
या
So
skills,
that's also the issue.
एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी भी बहुत लो है, बट क्या एटलीस्ट डिग्री है तो वो लाइन में खड़ा है बेचारा, बस लेंगे नहीं
Yeah.
लेंगे वो बाद में आता है. बट
और इंजीनियर्स को पॉलिटी वगैरह पता नहीं होता है. फॉर एग्जांपल आर्ट्स और ह्यूमैनिटीज में यू हैव अनदर सब्जेक्ट एज पॉलिटी में भी. इंजीनियरिंग में वो पहले नहीं था, शायद अभी है. सो देर इज नो चांस कि उनको सिविक्स या पॉलिटी के बारे में कुछ पता हो, सो कि जाके वो कुछ क्वेश्चन करे.
उनको कुछ सिखाया ही नहीं ना. इंजीनियरिंग में तो इंजीनियरिंग सिखाते हैं.
या वो अभी
इंजीनियरिंग
उन्होंने इंक्लूड किया है बहुत बाद में, पहले नहीं था. एज अ ग्रेड सब्जेक्ट दे may have included now
ओके.
पॉलिटी एंड दैट थिंग्स. पहले वो नहीं था, जब हम पढ़ रहे थे तब नहीं था.
उसके बाद भी अगर इफ आई टॉक अबाउट माय फ्रेंड्स, दे आर नॉट अफेक्टेड, सो दे डोंट केयर.
या वो भी एक पॉइंट है.
पोल्यूशन बढ़ रहा है, ठीक है, एयर प्यूरिफायर लगाया एक नया, हो गया बस.
या ऑल ब्रांडेड सॉल्यूशंस.
Sam, do you live in India? Like
नो, इन फ्रांस.
me, Shweta, and who else is living in India right now?
अक्षय है ना, अक्षय इज हियर.
I really have like a question. When I see people around me, like, चिल्ला रहे हैं लोग, मुझे समझ नहीं. It's the shock on everyday basis. अभी मैं सुबह अपने फ्रेंड से मिलने गई थी एंड pollution की बात निकली because lot of us are going to India during Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So a friend said, no, but I won't be going to Delhi. Look at the pollution. And immediately they shifted कि हाँ, Bastion में coffee is a must. I was like, तुम दोनों बातें कैसे कर रहे हो? तुम्हारे दिमाग में फिट हो रही है कैसे? And I was about to say something about कि yeah, and they are fucking up with the readings also. And immediately the conversation shift to coffee at Bastion and it's a must. And they're saying it themselves. That's a overhyped place, but they're still saying कि नहीं जाना तो फिर भी है. And I'm like, मुझे इंडिया, you know, immediately मुझे उस समय क्लिक हुआ. I am going to ask the question and Punit show today. Where is the delusion coming from? How are these people? अच्छा, ये तो चलो NRIs हो गए, तो हमको चलो वड़ा पाव भी खाना है, बैस्टियन में भी जाना है, चलो मैं एक फिर भी बेनिफिट ऑफ द डाउट दूं. But I'm saying, how is it that Indian upper middle class people who are like thoda bahut educated, who have decent jobs, I don't know how are they not protesting against these things? I don't know. Or am I the wrong person to question? I even am not sure about it. But I'm saying just ethics भी छोड़ दो. Common sense तो लगाओ. I'm saying ethics छोड़ दो, empathy छोड़ दो. जैसे हर कोई बोल रहा है ना कि चलो ठीक है, तुम गवर्नमेंट को क्वेश्चन मत करो, या तुम पॉलिटिक्स के बीजेपी वर्सेस कांग्रेस में नहीं जाओ, सांस तो तुम क्लीन ले रहे हो, वो तुमको नहीं मिल रही है तो उस पे तो प्रोटेस्ट करो. लाइक वी हैव कम डाउन टू वेरी बेसिक्स एंड पीपल आर नॉट प्रोटेस्टिंग. आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दिस.
So
I think they have given up. They
Actually,
it's
परसों
hopeless.
Chief Justice of India
Not
also
given
said
up.
that
I have
air
not
quality is
seen
very bad.
people to
And
fight and then give up.
yeah, but for them, the idea is to make money and use money to solve their problems.
Yeah, that's what I've seen a lot of, like even my friends.
जो
They
जो
move.
पुनीत के कल वाले जोक में था ना कि गुज्जूस आर कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड ऑन मनी, क्योंकि प्रोटेस्ट कोई और कर लेगा कि हम तो पैसा बना के. बट देन इट सर्कल्स बैक टू द क्वेश्चन कि जितने हैं उतने ज्यादा तुमको पैसा चाहिए, क्योंकि एयर प्यूरिफायर खरीदने के लिए आज पैसा चाहिए और एयर प्यूरिफायर एक नेसेसिटी है. तो ऑफ एम्पैथी, और इज इट जस्ट कि हमारी बेसिक्स ही इतने ज्यादा मेस्ड अप हैं एंड इंडियंस आर नॉट गेटिंग दैट, तो बेचारे सिर्फ पैसा ही कमाने पे कॉन्सेंट्रेट कर रहे हैं.
that is true for a majority of the population. But upper middle class, like you said, no, is to, I won't say to blame, but at least the focus is on them कि आप तो बोलो कुछ, जो ऊपर है आपसे लोग वो लोग भाग के चले जाते हैं मॉरिशस तो आपको जो यहीं पे मरना है और आपके बच्चे भी बीमार पड़ रहे हैं. Clearly, how much more do you need? Okay, the ticket link is being closed, I'm told by Jamie. Anybody who still wants to join this can join. Otherwise, the panel continues. If you just join the chat, do hit the like button so we can reach more people. And incidentally, Ekta, same question that you asked has been asked by Jojo in a super chat all the way from UK. And he has said, why do you think Indian citizens don't seek accountability from government, especially for the air they are breathing? Is it fear? So fear to hai. Like, no, like, remember years ago, Ravish used to say that whenever I pick up a topic like the railways, for example, or koi bharti kiska baki hai, a lot of the bucks, they writing to him saying, sir, thank you, aapne hamara mudda uthaya, hum nahi bol pa rahe, aap kijiye. No, because these same people have been used by the party to shout down other people who are asking questions. And now when it is their turn to ask, they are too afraid. So fear is definitely one of the things, Jojo, like you said, majority 90% people उनका बेसिक से मीट नहीं, उनको पता भी नहीं एक्यूआई क्या है. तो बेसिकली का जॉब बहुत इजी है. इथेनॉल में डे लाइट रॉबरी दे आर गेटिंग अवे विद. व्हाई? Because only 6% of the vehicles on the road are private cars, and private car ownership is 0.03%. We have one of the lowest car ownerships in the whole world. Even Southeast Asian countries are way, way ahead of us. And this may not be a good or a bad thing. Like, I mean, if there are more cars, तो भी जगह ही नहीं है पहली बात तो रास्ते पे. Plus there will be pollution and all of that. I'm not saying that it's an outright bad thing. I'm saying कि इतना poverty है. So somebody like a Gadkari can get away with outright 20% and at the same price and get away with it because the people who are shouting are so minuscule in number. And इसीलिए even Congress is not taking up the ethanol thing because वो भी पता है electorally it means zero. Even if all the car owners come out and vote for them, घंटा नहीं फर्क पड़ेगा. They are a vocal minority for sure. They're very vocal because they have a voice. But these people now only will shout about it and complain जब घर तक बात आ गई ना उनका पैसा जा रहा है कि गाड़ी खराब हो रही है तो थोड़ा वो चूचा करते हैं, वो भी थोड़ा ही करते हैं फिर भी. And I've had people commenting on video saying कि आपका सब बात सही है पर फिर भी पप्पू को वोट नहीं दे सकते. So what?
Hearing the same thing.
So when imagine 10 years of like the worst propaganda seen in the history of mankind has been unleashed on the most superstitious population in the history of the world. So these two factors together, it means that लोगों का ज़मीर भी मर चुका है, उनका विवेक भी मर चुका है. उनको पता ही नहीं कि सवाल किया जा सकता है. They have to just accept everything and somehow survive. And when they just don't give an answer, जब से बड़ा बंदा प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस भी नहीं करता है, and then all the other ministers they follow in his footsteps. No, you see how everybody acts, including the real minister and even the small fucking No, the small henchmen also behave in the same way. You ask them a difficult question, they say Jai Shri Ram, and the question is over. तो अगर ये 10 साल करा है तो अभी बहुत लोग डर है और बहुत लोगों को लगता है कि ये ऑप्शन ही नहीं है कि पूछे या प्रोटेस्ट करें और आपने खुद प्रोटेस्ट को इतना विलेनाइज किया है तो
No, but also the problem is opposition parties are not raising the questions. Like बीजेपी जब opposition में थी, वो जिस तरीके से क्वेश्चन उठाती थी, ये opposition parties नहीं उठा पा रहे हैं और ये मुद्दा नहीं बन रहा है क्यों है दैट इज अ बिग इशू. पब्लिक तो बाद में आएगी.
But there was no Godi media back then, no. So at least what
Yeah,
they were saying was being covered and it was being hyped also, no.
yeah.
Like in any communication in any mass media, reputation is the key. तो अगर
मतलब you can say 2011 से it was media was managed in a way. We thought media was doing its work, but later हमको पता चला कि media तब से ही manage हो रहा था to show the government in the bad light, basically.
yeah.
That's the thing.
Now the thing is, they will pick one or two stray reports of how pre-2014 some channel is doing a report which is gushing over Rahul Gandhi as the next
Yeah.
leader, whatever, no. And they say कि तभी भी good media था, अभी भी good media. तो एक तो वो example is like a stray example compared to the like outright onslaught round the clock of people just shouting nonsense at you around the clock. You can't compare it to. I mean, even if you're beginning to compare it, like you are a suspect actor in this. And more than that, I think the times have changed. No, you take those one or two examples and compare it to today. In the end, it is also what about trees? So does that make even this okay? Is also a question. But I think some of these arguments, no, they just give you to just waste your time. They know it's a shit argument, but you waste energy trying to counter it. You know, they say,
Also, the celebrities don't come out actually
yeah,
saying things जो पहले आते थे
yeah,
बोल के. That's also the issue कि वो मुद्दा नहीं बनता है कि वो आगे जाए.
In fact, if you see being human,
masses to also like, and then we also need some bigger names to back
Yeah.
it so that थोड़ा पावर डायनामिक भी थोड़ा बैलेंस होता है, थोड़ा गवर्नेंस पे भी थोड़ा ज्यादा असर
Yes,
पड़ता है.
same
बिकॉज
point.
हम जैसे 100 लोग बात करेंगे तो उनको पता है कि एक लाठीचार्ज से प्रोटेस्ट खत्म. बट आए लोग, पावरफुल लोग आए सीन में तो थोड़ा सा हो ना. सो इट्स लाइक ओवरऑल या मोर पीपल हैव टू स्पीक बिकॉज हम लोग, I think there is no other way. Now we have come to like day by day we are like breaking point पे पहुंच रहे हैं कि we need people in numbers to be
yeah,
out loud.
Yeah,
And
that is the point.
जितना ज्यादा complacency है Indians में, it's like really really bad. I am seeing my cousins saying or my friends saying कि no, our kids leave at now. Earlier they used to leave for school, like school, primary school kids. Earlier they used to leave home around 7 distance. Now the kids like 10 साल 8 साल के बच्चा, इनको आधा घंटा जल्दी इनका बस का टाइम मूव हुआ है. 1 traffic, 2 infrastructure, the roads are bad, and 3 to beat pollution. आई मीन एक अगर स्कूल के बच्चे को पोल्यूशन बीट करने के लिए बेचारे को तू आधा घंटा जल्दी उतारे, उसकी लाइफ और उसका दिमाग क्या ही डिजाइन हो रहा है, क्या ही पढ़ेगा वो. बट उसको पता है कि मुझे स्कूल को रीच करने के लिए आई हैव टू बीट द ट्रैफिक.
yeah.
आई एम सेइंग, एंड उसके बाद ये माँ बाप बैस्टियन में कॉफी पी रहे हैं. तो तुमको समझ आ रही है बात? तुम जो 2 3 4 लाख रुपया महीना कमा रहे हो, तुम अच्छी अच्छी कंपनीज में, आईटी सेक्टर्स में कॉलेज प्रोफेसर्स हो, बैंकर्स हो, एंड अच्छा खासा कमा रहे हो, अच्छी खासी तुम्हारे पास, अगर उस सेंस में पावर बोलना चाहिए तो उतनी पावर तुम्हारे पास है. तुमको तुम तो डेली वेज वर्कर नहीं हो ना. तुमको तो नहीं प्रॉब्लम है ना कि मैं कल कहाँ से खाऊंगा, मेरा सेठ मुझे लात मारे. तुम्हारे पास तुम्हारी डिग्रीज है, तुम्हारी सालों की जॉब्स हैं. तुम तो बोलो, इंस्टाग्राम पे ही थोड़ा सा बात कर लो, ट्विटर पे ही थोड़ा कुछ डाल दो, आपस में डाइनिंग टेबल कॉन्वर्जेशंस को ही थोड़ा सा शिफ्ट करो. बिकॉज दीज वेरी सेम पीपल आर लाइक, आई डोंट नो हाउ, मतलब बस I'm just shocked only. Like दिन में 10 बार मुझे शौक ही लगता है इंडिया में बात करके। बस मुझे कुछ न्यूज आती है, मैं किसी से बात करती हूँ, मुझे शौक ही लग रहा होता है। मैं अभी भी हैरान ज्यादा हूँ और मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा है। I'm like, how is this acceptable? I
So
don't know.
Yeah.
I'll say a couple of things here, okay? One, fear, okay, fear, but for me, from my point of view, it is not the primary reason why upper middle class. I think the reason why upper middle class does not raise their voices on anything political or anything anti-establishment is for two reasons. One, dignity of labor, and two, aspiration. So most upper middle class and even middle class people are highly aspirational. Things like Instagram pushes them to compete within social circles and within societal structures. So even if you don't know someone, you want to show that you are doing well in life. Whether it is going to fancy holidays, whether it is eating, drinking at whatever places, whether it is owning a fancy car, whether it is staying in a
Yeah.
fancy apartment, whatever, all these things exist. And these aspirations keep you busy. These aspirations keep you chasing the money. So you keep on working harder and harder, leaving no time for you to read, be aware, be conscious enough to even spread, to know. If you don't know, what will you talk about? आज जो इंसान तेरे को बता रहा है कि मैं यहाँ गई ये खाने, वहाँ गई वो पीने, या यहाँ हॉलीडे पे गई, उसका एक्सपोजर ही वो है. Whatever free time they get from making money is spent on spending money. So if you are not
तुम भी
aware
तो
of
शो
something,
करता है
what
ना,
will you talk about?
बट ये क्लासिज्म भी तो शो करता है
Of
ना.
course show karta hai, and it is highly ingrained. So
Don't
that
want to.
classism comes from dignity of labor. आज हम lower income jobs को इतना poorly देखते हैं.
It's not my
In,
problem to solve these chota mota problems.
I feel there's also one element of sunk cost fallacy because the biggest vote bank in the country actually, or not the biggest maybe, but the most loyal vote bank is upper caste Hindus who have voted for the BJP through decades and eras. Like no matter how good, bad, or ugly it gets, whether they're in the opposition or they're in power, it is statistics. Anyone can look this up. And now, after 10 years of supporting them through everything, like including releasing rapists and garlanding,
Yeah.
now they can't go and oppose them. No. So now, because it's a dissonance in their mind, they clearly see that these people are as corrupt, if not more, and they have caused massive irreparable damage to the environment and to the country, a lot of other things. They still can't speak up because it will mean contradicting themselves. Because इनका वोट सिर्फ वोट नहीं ना, ये एक धार्मिक एक्सप्रेशन भी है. And just how people cannot go back on their religious beliefs, almost similarly now they can't criticize the government.
हाँ,
तो
वो शांत बैठते हैं एक्चुअली, और जैसे पहले से तो अच्छा है, ये थोड़ा बहुत ये किया है वो किया है, एंड दे समहाउ डिफेंड एंड गो अवे.
वो तिनका काफी काफी है उनके लिए.
हाँ, बहुत इनका.
Yeah. There is a
पुनीत सुपर चैट्स.
yes
तो
from
सचिन दास का आया है कि इतने सारे लोग कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी खेल रहे हो क्या?
जब उम्र थी तभी नहीं खेले, तो अब तो सवाल ही नहीं है. Misanthrope has suggested a favorite king, Chhatrapati Sahu Maharaj, king, reformer, anti-untouchability. Great.
Yeah, so she was talking about Shahu in the chat also earlier when that king question was asked and there was conversation about it. And she wanted to point out that he was so ahead of his times in terms of the way he governed and the way he thought of his populace and the measures that he brought about, that everyone should read up about him. And at a minimum, the panel, that is all of us, should Google. So I did Google. अगर किसी को सुनना है गूगल तो. शाहू महाराज was the first Maharaj of the princely state of Kolhapur, 1884 to 1922, and a prominent social reformer. So again, there is a lot you can read about him, but that is a one-line brief that I'm putting out.
I think with people like that, right, it comes like what you were saying before, Rajay, like no kings and everything like that. But whenever systems usually change, there always has to be someone that abides to the system in order to, slowly, thoda sa, 5% at a time, 10% at a time. Now, other 90% could be crazy, king, right? Whatever their like little idiosyncrasies was at the time, Hannah, and those were a little bit more liberal. I guess that was the question. So I like, yeah, these are like, yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah, but I mean, doesn't interest me. Like the
Yeah, no, 100%.
individuals and personalities doesn't interest me. Long arc of history, the patterns, sure, but like individuals are not really. Um, we have one new member, and his name is only at the rate. So thank you at the rate for joining the family. Jamie, I think there are two more joinees for the IRL. Can you let them in, or are they here? I can't see them on the panel.
Jamie has handed me charge and Jamie is swiping, guys. Please forgive.
Paisa. Osiris has also sent us a super chat from the United Kingdom. And the question is, opposition, hold on. अरे यार दो लोग और ज्वाइन किया क्या पैनल मेरे को दिख नहीं रहा है
If we don't get a BTS section on the live stream, is it a Pania live stream, guys?
True.
after the
हर बार ही
Oh,
होता
you're
है।
also here. Okay.
yeah तो किधर है वो लोग हाँ ओके भेज दो ठीक है ओके
So, okay, Osiris has sent us a super chat saying opposition can raise and say whatever they want and can highlight whatever they want, but Modi worked hard to fix his what? Regret of not managing media in 2002.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was a interview to BBC where a reporter asked him कि क्या तुमसे रह गया जो तुम कर सकते थे to avoid the riots. He said media manage करना रह गया, which he did after 2014. That's it. He is doing that.
Yeah. No, of course. I mean, they're up against a formidable enemy. But I'm saying that, no, besides not showing the mistakes, the corruption of the people in power, actively the media will talk down the opposition as well, and all kinds of outlandish theories about how they are dangerous and how they are conspiring against the country and the people every day round the clock. Imagine, eventually it will have some impact on people's psyche, even the more intelligent people. ऐसा तो कभी नहीं हुआ पहले कि actively, preemptively, around the clock, all of the media is just trying to debunk the opposition in all possible ways. It could be, most outlandish conspiracies, personal character assassination, outright lies, just misinterpreting the words, the sentences they said, running fake videos, running doctored videos.
Doctored, yeah.
चोरी ही है ना ये तो outright चोरी है.
Yeah.
And then we have told, hey, talk on both sides. So look at what a dictator Mamta is. अभी जो आपको नेशनल लेवल पे दिखता है, जो पॉलिसी डिसाइड कर रहा है, जैसे यहाँ पे बजट है, आप उसका बात करो कि यू टॉक ऑफ अ डिस्टेंट स्टेट वेयर यू डोंट नो एनीथिंग व्हाट इज हैपनिंग ऑन द ग्राउंड.
अच्छा, जो ये जीडीपी का डेटा आया परसों, तो इट वाज सेड एनएसओ का डेटा था. सो इसमें इंटरनेशनल मॉनेटरी फंड ने बोला कि ये डेटा झूठा है इंडिया के पास जो है. एंड वी आर सेइंग इट लाइक 8.2 आया, बहुत अच्छा डेटा है, बट that data that it is backed by is false, is said by IMF.
Yeah, the way they calculate is like वो उनका अपना उनका वैदिक मैथ्स अलग है उनका.
So there is no base here on which it is calculated basically.
Yeah. मन गढ़त है, सब मन गढ़त है. And now in all departments in the government, because culture will flow top.
Data ही नहीं है, figures ही नहीं है.
डेटा ही नहीं है. How will people make decisions in the future? Imagine अभी आपने air pollution का डेटा भी इतना फर्ज किया है. So if somebody in the system wants to bring about a change also, they're working with false data. So imagine this, how do you get out of this fucking daldal? No? Sachin Das has sent us वन मोर सुपर चैट सेइंग आपका मोड ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन इतना हैवी इंग्लिश है कि टू पीपल को एजुकेट अवेयर होना चाहिए, उनको समझेगा ही नहीं. ऑल्सो जेवलिस का. I'm sorry, dude. I think in English. I can't help it. And again, I'm not a social worker or a spokesperson. So it is not my express intention to reach as many people as possible. No, my intention is to express. And if this is the best way I can do it, I will do it. Also keeps me out of jail. So far.
बट
अच्छा
ऐसा
वैसे
इन्फ्लुएंसर कैसे बनोगे इंग्लिश में?
Yesterday we were discussing, me and my team, कि जो भी अच्छा कॉमिक है ना, बहुत अच्छा कॉमिक है और अच्छा काम कर रहा है, and more populist than what I do probably, and great comics like Vipul Goyal, Manatwala, and then they're selling great numbers, high ticket prices, all of that. But वो एक glass ceiling है that they can't break, and that glass ceiling is 1,000 tickets, 1,000 सीटर उसके ऊपर नहीं जाता है. तो जो भी 1,000 के ऊपर गया ना, वो और कुछ भी चुटे चलता है साइड पे, लाइक इन्फ्लुएंसर टाइप मोस्टली. So there are exceptions, like the absolute superstars, like say Bassi Upmanyu, outright hit. Even like say Akash Gupta, Gaurav Gupta may not be.
Zakir also.
Zakir, yeah, I would say he broke that barrier through stand-up, but then he's known for many other things.
हाँ.
बेसिकली आपको और लोग तक पहुंचना है तो आपको थोड़ा और कुछ नाचगाना करना पड़ेगा. One is because maybe people, I don't know if people like that or whether Instagram imposes it on you. So what happens is there is something called native and non-native content. So no matter how good your stand-up is, when you edit and put out a clip of that on Insta or on YouTube, people know that ये वो कहीं पे shoot किया है और हमको दिखा रहा है वो. But when you talk pitch to camera, no, आंख में आंख डाल के, then इसलिए हमारे लिए कर रहा है. And now algorithm is smart enough to know also कि कौन सा वीडियो प्लेटफॉर्म के लिए बनाया और कौन सा वीडियो चेप रहा है कहीं और से. So both of these factors contribute. इसलिए you see the absolute random monkeys doing like the shit shows, they get more views because they are playing the system like it wants to be played. तो एक वो तो glass ceiling है ही, which I know. But now in the 10th year of doing this, no, I'm past all of this. Like I'm not gonna change course now at this stage just so that I can buy more sneakers for myself or buy a car eventually at this stage in my life. I made my peace with all of those things.
And learn how to drive also that car once you buy it.
At this stage now, I'm okay if there are 200 people watching the live stream. At least they're all sane and they all read. I mean, how rare is that in this country?
So, two things. Like recently, I heard Mehta on a podcast,
Yeah.
and the question asked was the upcoming comedy scene, and he said something very interesting. He was like, the people that are coming up, good stand-up comedians, they're mostly coming from Bangalore and Delhi, but Delhi, you know what it is, but Bangalore. And people come to Bombay to become influencers. So they are comics, they are good writers, but they are primarily working the gram. And that really, and I immediately classified so many comics.
Yeah.
And I was like, हाँ ये सब लोग तो रील बना रहे हैं, छाप रहे हैं.
कौन है? Like अभी recent crop में I can, when people who have sort of become popular, I can think of Shamik only. Who else?
This is also the Anas model, na?
वो अनस स्टैंड अप में देखा ही नहीं बहुत टाइम से.
हाँ, but he is funny, but his reels are funnier.
Sure. It's a medium that if you can crack, and many people are
Yeah.
good at it. But to Mehta's point, like Mumbai has lost its sheen for sure, and that is true for everything, not just comedy.
Yeah.
So I think you can see the decline of the city in even the cultural aspect now.
Yeah.
I think you will eventually. People
And
who
the other day, what happened with me was something very strange happened. People said कि कामरा के अलावा political comedy कौन करता है? And I was like, what? Like, do we not even have a second name? And then I was surprised that people in the space who read and consume serious content, serious political content, are unaware. So I want to take an opportunity to list out political comedians. So Punit, please.
So after Kamra, after people, popularly they will say Grover, which is true. His biggest name after Kamra. I mean, over,
Yeah,
might be
Varun
big-
Grover.
Grover might be bigger overall because of his other work. But in stand-up, of course, Grover, besides Kamra, if we had to count, Azim does still a lot of. Although now he calls himself an infrastructure comedian, but at least he's talking about relevant social issues and it is political. Daniel Fernandez, for all you know.
विदाउट लेफ्ट राइट एंड सेंटर वो इधर एक बॉम्ब गिरता है, इधर उसकी रील ड्रॉप होती है वो मुद्दे पर मुद्दा, हेडलाइन
Yeah.
पर हेडलाइन पे वो रील बना देता है फटाफट.
So, Daniel, then Masoom Rajwani, of course.
Yeah.
There's a guy called Mohit Murani from Delhi, perhaps the only guy from Delhi who does political.
Yes,
Yeah.
prob.
Then there is, I mean, besides me, of course, I'm counting. Or then now difficult for me also to go beyond this list. है और कोई श्वेता?
विनीत है ना, हैदराबाद वाला एक, he does.
Vineet hai, but like he does some political stuff, not all, but yeah,
Not all. Hmm.
not all, but yeah, he's quite aware. His vote. I saw that Congress picked up that guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That is about it. You can count him on the tips of your fingers. And also, Kamra, because he's been on primetime news so many times that then all of us keep getting called, "Arey, ye to Kamra ka copy hai, Kamra ye." Because अपना understanding of politics and political humor इतना कम है, no, और लोग इतने कम है कि उनके लिए यही है कामरा, one person and then whoever else comes कि ये तो उसके जैसा है. No,
Okay, you can count this Sham Rangila too, right?
Shyam Rangi do stand up like we do, no?
He's
It's
more
satire, yeah.
satire. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
right. Satire.
he's a satirist. ऐसे satirist तो फिर और भी हैं.
नहीं,
हाँ,
comedian,
इसके
Satirist
pod
काफी हैं.
comedian बोल सकते हो आप, but like not stand up the way, more of a TV comic or more of a desi style stand up. Although again, this is only more about estate, not even estate. Yeah, it's about aesthetics more than anything else. So, I've seen Shyam doing some shows in the clubs in Delhi, Gurgaon. I'm sure he does a great show. Just that our approach is or aesthetic is very.
Hmm.
So we don't really count Shyam, but of course he's a satire में तो है ही.
Rohan Joshi is also there, but I don't know if he does political
He
thing or
doesn't do
not.
political. He is
Okay.
very, very safe.
His posts are like quite political at times on Instagram.
पोस्ट देखो, पोस्ट
जी.
खतरे की करते हैं बहुत.
Yeah, so मुझे लगा वो उनका सेट भी होगा शायद.
Commercial नहीं करना है, क्या करता है वो, तो he is very outspoken, but उसका
Okay.
में नहीं आता है.
Okay.
Yeah.
Abhijit Ganguly also does venture in
Times, yeah.
political comedy.
He
Yeah.
does.
And Manjeet Sarkar.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Manjeet Sarkar, how did we?
Ranjit Sarkar. Yes.
yeah.
Right.
तो भी 10 नहीं हुआ.
हाँ, तो भी 10.
तो भी हम लोग 7-8 पे अटके हैं शायद. That's true.
Count yourself? Counted yourself?
हाँ, counted.
Okay, fine.
Axe Effect 707 has sent 400 Indian rupees in Bhagwa saying on the Jamie intrigue topic, Guruji, please blink twice if Jamie's name questions. मैं blink करने वाला थोड़ी है. This is, I can pass a lie detector test also. What are these school tricks? इतना सस्ते में.
सत्संग में 400 रुपए ज्यादा लो और उसका वो चेहरा दिखा दो.
The thing is that he doesn't perform anymore, तो उसको खुद को इंटरेस्ट भी नहीं है स्क्रीन पे आने में. So I get the intrigue that the hype is only increasing, as you can see by X Effect Super Chat. But उसको खुद को नहीं करना. He is now so far removed from this, and also work-wise, he only works like for my my inquiries and this. So he's now out from also of the comedy shows. So while the comics might know him, but I don't see him coming back to this world. And he keeps telling me कि Gen Z लोग में ना ऐसा ऐसा स्टैंड अप वैंड अप को हम लोग अभी कुछ खास मानते नहीं है. वो था एक टाइम पे, ये हम लोग नहीं देखते हैं. And in his own words, the stand up is too gay. And when you say why, well, because it's a lot of attention seeking. And I'm like, that's not equivalent to being gay, but ठीक है, whatever be his thing.
Jamie is to us what you have like a youngest child in a family, joint family में जो सबसे छोटा बच्चा जो कुछ भी बात करता है, जिसको बुली भी सबसे ज्यादा करते हैं, जिसको कभी राबू भी बुलाएंगे, जिसको अपने रूम से बाहर नहीं निकलना है. He is exactly that. He is छोटा बच्चा of the family.
ओके,
Yeah.
एक क्वेश्चन था. ये कॉमिक्स जो केबीसी पे आ रहे हैं वो कैसे हो रहा है? मतलब देयर वाज अ स्पेशल एपिसोड फॉर रवि गुप्ता एंड दिस 3 people, हर्ष गुजराल
My
एंड
husband was watching
बस्सी.
that episode. अब भी
You're saying वो कैसे आए? You're saying इस पे?
हाँ, मतलब
रवि
केबीसी
गुप्ता,
तक
हर्ष
कैसे गए?
गुजराल और कौन था? आई हैव नो क्लू.
रवि गुप्ता, हर्ष गुजराल,
उपमन्यु और
ये
बस्सी.
था अभिषेक उपमन्यु एंड बस्सी,
They pick
चारों थे.
the biggest. This is all about numbers. Have to be numbers.
ओके,
It's
ये सब
simple.
नंबर्स पे ही होता है.
Huh?
मेरे को लगता है इंस्टाग्राम और यूट्यूब फॉलोअर्स,
Yeah.
सब्सक्राइबर्स एंड फॉलोअर्स.
Pure numbers, and then even like the thing is, the managers would be in the know of people who know people. So वैसा होता है. Like there was only one agency for many years. So when Amazon and Netflix came to India, they wanted comics. तो उनसे ही बात किया. जैसे उनके बाहर नहीं है. तो and आप देखो जो लोग एम्प्लॉय होते हैं इसमें ये सब काम करने के लिए, they are so far from the ground. Amazon had one person for scouting talent, like they do in the US. Their job it is to go and look at random shows, go unannounced, buy a ticket and see talent and then pick. They went to the biggest agency saying कौन है, तो बोलते हमारा रोस्टर है पूरा ले लो. तो जो रोस्टर में नहीं है उसको नहीं मिला स्पेशल. And when I think that person had to report कि मैंने ओपन माइक देखा है, तो बोला ओपन माइक, तो बोला हम ही आपके लिए ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं. तो ओपन माइक ऑफ जस्ट their talent. And like it's like Ford saying pick any car as long as it is black. So you can call them gatekeepers if you will, but the thing is like the Ford they picked were the biggest, and they all did well, I would say, from a TV point of view. I saw some of the reels and it was funny, काफी funny था. रवि तो बहुत funny था.
Yeah, he's funny, quite
Yeah.
funny.
Even the rest they pulled their weight. I mean, because it's not TV में there are a lot of restrictions. और उनके माँ बाप भी बैठे थे वहां पे, तो और कितना ही करेगा बंदा. So
It was so unfunny क्योंकि right before I joined the live वो चल रहा था मेरे घर पे टीवी पे. And my husband follows stand up थोड़ा बहुत basic and थोड़ा बहुत through me, but he likes बस्सी उपमन्यु, तो उसने चलाया. एंड मतलब अगर मेरा हस्बैंड बोल रहा है कि हर्ष गुजराल इज वेरी अनफनी, मतलब ही इज रियली वेरी अनफनी बिकॉज ही फॉलोज बेसिक. फिर वो बोल रहा है यार अमिताभ बच्चन के आगे आके ऐसे बकवास जोक्स ऐसे मार रहा है ये बंदा. मैंने कहा भाई अब
He was just putting
एल्गोरिदम का
punches
चक्कर.
in that episode, Gujral.
Gujral is worked with like I think more film people than anybody else. Like somehow he got into that sphere where all the movie launches they call him to host the movie launch.
Yeah. He was at the Amir Khan launch movie as well.
And then like a sit down very informal chat जहाँ पे अमीर को ऐसे थाई पे clap कर रहे हैं, हमने क्या हो रहा है ये. But good for him. No, it's about numbers, nothing else. It's just pure numbers. Everyone will warm up to you once the numbers are there. So that's
But वो कैसे आते हैं? मतलब do they pay for it or are they organic totally?
no, there is no money involved. No, they get exposure.
Okay. No, ये numbers के लिए वो pay करते हैं या वो organic numbers होते हैं totally?
दोनों होता है, but if you see them, all of these people, the videos are viral. No, it's all organic. No, उतने लोग हैं ना ये देश में जिन्होंने पढ़ाई नहीं करी लाइफ में, तो नंबर तो है thanks to Jio. And I mean even the ticket sales, so everything they are superstars. They're seeing it. In fact, 2 years back, Book My Show put out numbers of the biggest ticket sellers in the country, and it was like Diljit, Bassi, Gujral. That's huge, right? अभी ये भी है कि Diljit doesn't do shows every week. He does it once in a year, and they do it every week. But it's still something, no?
Bus is coming to Aurangabad in January.
I mean, sure. I mean, as a spectacle, you should go and see the show.
Yeah, that's true. And next month, Tandon is coming. Amit Tandon.
Okay. That's a different world, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's totally different sort of comedian.
I still like.
लिंकिन पार्क भी तो आ रहा है
Huh?
लिंकिन पार्क भी आ रहा है बेंगलोर में शायद से
See, with the mention of Lincoln Park and addressing the correct age demographic, there are two questions in the chat which are non-super chat, which I want you to address, Puneet. One is there is somebody who said, I am 18 and your Pune show is 21 plus, so can I come? And the other question is it necessary to be 30 plus to view your live stream and consume your content?
Great questions. नाम क्या है
सब चैट भेजते हैं
जो पुणे का
इस क्वेश्चन को हमको पैसे भेजने चाहिए
हाँ, the Pune वाला chat I forgot उनका नाम, and the 30 plus is Devdas 121.
So Pune, because I'm doing high spirits this time, they have to be unfortunately anal about this because ever since the Porsche case, Pune police have cracked down hard on the big brands. So you can still come, but you have to be accompanied by an adult. Sorry.
Yeah.
So just for this show, other shows, though, like 18 is absolutely fine. Other than for the other question, you don't have to be over 30. Mentally, you have to be over 30, maybe, or you have to read a lot. Then, when very young people come, and this is also part of my set. In fact, I'm really worried about them. क्यों आ रहा है यहाँ पे? ऐसा क्या
So
हो?
we can do mental age check. Just list out 3 Linkin Park songs, and we know you fit age criteria.
किसको पूछ रहे हो आप?
अरे जो भी कह रहा है कि वो 30 प्लस की सोच रखता है.
Three Linkin Park songs. So,
Here's something that will prove my
नहीं,
age.
मुझे एक भी पता नहीं
मैंने 3 से ज्यादा लिंकिन पार्क सॉन्ग्स के AMVs बनते थे ना ओल्ड यूट्यूब पे, where you take the
ड्रैगन बॉल
lead
के
takes or you take Dragon Ball Z and you'll sync them up, see action scenes to songs. मैंने 3 से ज्यादा तो लिंकिन पार्क के AMV बनाए हैं.
yeah.
तो तुम 60
Good
प्लस हो.
Thorat Gigi, ये नाम है इनका. This is Subhaja saying, watched your Pune shows, and this is my first super chat. Great. If you haven't seen the latest show, which is Punit Pania Live, then that's the one that we're talking about in Pune on 13th of December. The Saturday is happening in high spirits, and it's a big venue. It'll be fun. But again, 18 plus is the thing. Imagine Porsche case के बाद जो आदमी गया था जेल में वो सब बेल में बाहर आ गया और पुलिस ने और रास्ता बना लिया पैसा कमाने के लिए. और सेफ्टी तो वही का वही है.
नहीं, पर हाई स्पिरिट्स इज वेरी क्लोज टू मौका वारदात ना, तो इसके लिए.
अच्छा ऐसा एपी सेंटर क्या
ग्राउंड जीरो
मोर रिस्क.
अरे द कस्टम्स ऑफिशियल सेम सर्कल का है.
But if you're high spirits, by now you have learned how to deal with this. No?
हाँ, of course.
So recently, actually, KBC पे ये आए थे मनोज बाजपेयी and these people to promote their show Family Man.
Yeah.
मजा ये है कि एक्चुअली पूरे एपिसोड में वेब सीरीज बोला गया, फैमिली मैन का नाम नहीं लिया गया.
हाँ.
तो क्यों आते हैं प्रमोशन के लिए? आई मीन इट्स ओके, Amazon प्राइम प्लेटफॉर्म पे है. यू आर कॉलिंग दोस पीपल टू प्रमोट देयर वेब सीरीज हियर, बट योर चैनल इज नॉट asking you to take the name.
Is it true that I hear people saying जो लोग कपिल पे आते हैं अपना मूवी पे वो लोग पैसा देते हैं उसके लिए, ऐसा होता है क्या?
उसका तो पता नहीं, शायद नहीं.
ये
बड़े लोग तो नहीं देते होंगे.
लेना है तो पैसा दो, ऐसा बोला होगा चैनल ने. We'll get you on, but if you want the name to be mentioned, also it could be that the channel's policy is to not promote a competitor. ये भी हो सकता है.
हाँ, वो समझ जाता है, फिर बुलाते क्यों हो? I mean,
अलग
it's not a TV channel,
प्रमोशन
it's a
पैकेज होगा ना,
web series
रेट
channel.
अलग
It's a web
होगा.
series basically.
I mean ये भी है कि maybe between them Amitabh can't say no to watch for, ये भी तो हो सकता है.
No, but thing is, Sony is a TV channel, Amazon Prime is a OTT. So
Yeah.
वैसे कोई competition तो नहीं है ना? You
नहीं, so
can
I think I
take the
can
names.
explain this.
It's competition, no? It is competition.
So what usually
कैसे?
happens in these situations is Amazon का जिससे भी agreement होगा, Sony again, within their agreements and their investment structure, there will be restrictions. For example, whoever's running Amazon ka India platform, that you can't promote a competitive, and there will usually be a list, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that is a restriction on Amazon, which Amazon will put on everyone that is putting up a show on their platform, right? So it comes down the drain from
Yeah.
there. Now what happens then is, there are, so for example, think of it this way: you go work at an office, your employment agreement will usually have a non-compete कि आप हमारे competitor के पास within 6 months नहीं जा सकते, within
Yeah.
2 years नहीं जा सकते, 3 years नहीं. You can't take our people, like those kind of risks. So these are inbuilt restrictions.
Ankit, if you can increase the volume, please.
Sorry.
Ah.
So the second problem that comes in therefore is कि the moment you have such a restriction, जो show host है or whoever's producing the show, they can go around this whole thing by simply saying आप आ जाओ, बात करो, just don't take the competitor's name. So that way they don't have to go under the agreement and say कि यार इस एक specific चीज के लिए waiver दे दो. Because if you give a waiver once, you can give a waiver a second time, a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time.
Yeah.
So the simpler, more convenient workaround is usually more the reason these things happen, and most of the times it is just semi-bureaucratic stuff.
Yeah, must probably be that.
The way of doing the things he means, yeah. Like
लेकिन ये
the
फर्स्ट टाइम ही हुआ होगा मेरे
contracts
ख्याल
and
एबीसी पे किसी ने मतलब ना वो प्रमोट नहीं करा होगा
वेब
वेब
सीरीज नाम
सीरीज
से उन्होंने चिपका दिया उसको, बस बाकी कुछ नहीं. सामने एक्टर्स है लेकिन कुछ नहीं.
Chinmay Babbar 4626 has sent a super chat saying, Charan's first Guruji. अरे नहीं नहीं, Knuckles first is our thing. अच्छा, and Knuckles to Satsang is. अरे नहीं नहीं. Have you guys discussed the Nashik Tapovan controversy? Is the ugliest thing the government is doing right now. Is this about the trees being felled for the?
Yeah. That's for
yes,
Kumbh
yes,
Mela.
yes.
1800
Yeah.
trees are being brought down.
उसका नाम ही तपोवन है ना. I mean, it's old trees, no?
और वहां पे लाइक चिपको टाइप आंदोलन भी चल रहा है कि इसको मत निकालो.
करना ही पड़ेगा, और वो भी साधु के लिए बना रहे हैं. तो अरे how tone deaf can you be, no?
Yeah.
I hope people stick up for this.
पुनीत, एक सुपर चैट ऊपर है क्या?
Yes.
On political comedians topic, you all forgot to count our news TV anchors. देखो, highest following
Yeah.
news वाले.
तो गुस्सा आता है यार अभी देख के, just the tone of it, no? I'm like, how can any sane person listen to this crap and believe it also? But some people still find the पप्पू jokes funny, तो फिर क्या बोल सकते हैं?
But there is only one journalist that does good on TV. Sandeep Chaudhary is the name. Sandeep Chaudhary and Dibang, I guess. Those are the only two people who speak logic on TV or proper things on TV.
ABP कुछ नहीं, क्या नाम है उसका चैनल का?
ABP शाम 5 बजे कुछ होता है उनका शो. Dibang is a senior one.
Yeah.
बहुत काम किया. और संदीप चौधरी, he came from News 24 to ABP News.
There's one.
He raises pertinent questions.
There's one more lady on the same channel.
प्रतिमा मिश्रा.
I think so. Yeah.
He has also shown some spine.
I think Ravish is doing the best satire. हमने इतना गिना. Dude, Ravish का the tone, the coverage, the melancholy is artistic, man. I mean,
Yeah.
the episodes are like Carlin-esque. If you saw his episode on podcast, dude, that was beautiful. Like,
Yeah, he started a podcast, right?
yeah, कि क्या आप किसी पॉडकास्ट पे जरा चेक कीजिए, आप हो के आए होंगे, कि आपने किसी का पॉडकास्ट लिया है, क्या आपने किसी को पॉडकास्ट दिया है, शायद मैं भी अभी पॉडकास्ट दे रहा हूँ. And this goes on for 15-20 minutes. I find it truly funny. And the thing is, in the face of absolute despair, humor remains the only sane response. So I get where it's coming from. And if you really want to stretch the argument, I would say Ravish is one of the best satirists, not us.
Yeah, he is actually.
So
He's
in
the
that
best.
space, even NL Tiffany is good. Like some of the satire there is also really nice.
Yeah. News Laundry.
Hmm.
News Laundry. Okay.
News
The
Laundry.
Atul Chaurasia thing, Tiffany.
Atul is amazing.
And no, we're talking about the political comedians. No, we forgot all the people who make content in general. No, like our friends who come on my live also from Garima to Madusa
Yes.
to Meghna. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Random from the
Meghnad.
best crowd,
Yeah.
yeah. And the thing is,
Uh,
format is incidental. No, you're all saying the same thing or fighting for the same thing. So, are
yeah.
they?
Could
It
you
is a different kind of a skill set, and being on Instagram and saying out things, you can still do it the way you want or the way it comes naturally to you. For to go on to go on stage and do stand up is like more polished, like there are sets and everything. So of course, वो तो एक अलग चीज हो गई, right?
It's a different craft. But no, now social media, the way it's built is that even if it is shoddy, but if it is more regular, it gets you more eyeballs. No, वो बात है. It's about frequency. हमारा बहुत लंबा कर्व है ना. We will polish the set like you said, then we record it, then we edit it. तो तब तक पब्लिक ने कि 5 न्यूज साइकिल कम से कम चला गया आपका उसमें. No, so from which again compared to the point that was being made earlier, no, by Sachin in the chats कि आप इंग्लिश बोलते हो आप पहुंच नहीं पाते हो वो अपना गेम है ही नहीं ना. If that was the game, I would just keep doing this every day. I can talk better than most people who are doing this right now. If it was just about talking sense and keeping it little bit light, तो अभी कर सकता है ना बिना बिना पढ़े के. बट वो अपने को करना नहीं है ना फुल टाइम. तो Aditya Tulpude 2335 has sent 100 rupees and he's saying, please buy agar double decker road bridges like Nagpur ban gaye, then traffic situation could ease down a lot. What is your take on it? So, of course, it helps. Like that's why abroad you see the double, triple decker. If there's that much traffic, you need more road length. So road length ही बहुत कम है for the existing number of vehicles. When the vehicle increase, you need more road length. तो आखिर रोड कहाँ से आएगा? तो आपको डबल ट्रिपल बनाना ही पड़ेगा. But the problem is अपना कॉन्ट्रैक्टर अपना इंजीनियर इतना सब फुद्दू लोग है ना कि वो बनाने के बाद में नीचे एक डिवाइडर जगह पे नहीं होगा and traffic will again pile up. Which is the most frustrating thing. So आई एम श्योर इट विल हेल्प बट अभी क्या इनको सिंपल ब्रिज बना के वो लोग बहुत चोरी कर पा रहा है तो उनको इंसेंटिव ही नहीं है डबल ब्रिज बना के. वन सिंगल ब्रिज कैन नो लाइक रन द कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स बिजनेस फॉर इयर्स. तो पहले बनाओ फिर रिपेयर करो फिर पैच वर्क करो फिर तोड़ो फिर वापस बनाओ. तो उसको जरूरत नहीं है और चोरी करने का. अभी जो now we are into tunnels, so now suddenly this has become a thing. No, let's make tunnels everywhere. So when the metro project came about, we didn't do tunnels because it was it was obscenely expensive. Because the bedrock of Mumbai is so hard that the Mumbai metro is underground. That amount of tunneling has never been done anywhere in the world before. So it was not recommended. But because South Mumbai में the rich people, they get their say, तो उनको बनाना ही पड़ा. Everywhere else it is overground. Only South Mumbai में it is underground. Because the rich people of Pedder Road they protested. तो मुझे क्या लगता है कि टनल बोरिंग मशीन ले लिया लोगों ने, अभी उसको यूज करने का है. तो नाउ सडनली यू दिस आइडियाज गेट फ्लोटेड कि अरे एक और बना के टनल एक यहाँ से मजा आएगा एक यहाँ पे करते हैं एक वहां पे करते हैं. सडनली देयर इज अ न्यू प्रोजेक्ट जस्ट फॉर टनल्स गोइंग ऑन. And then Mega Engineering, which is the biggest electoral bond donor fame, has miraculously won the tender against L&T despite L&T having a lower tender price. And L&T went to court. Imagine इतना चाटने का सरकार का इतना चाटने के बाद भी उनको they have to go to court for this. And the Supreme Court said, yeah, इनका बात सही वापस करो. Again somehow they made Mega win the tender. तो ये डबल डेकर सही है कि नहीं है वो तो क्वेश्चन ही नहीं है ना. किसको कौन सा टेंडर पास कराने का उस पर डिपेंड करता है. पब्लिक का नीड क्या है सिटी का नीड क्या है वो तो है ही नहीं. वो बाद में दे विल रेट्रोफिट द नीड. the project from which they make money. It is hopeless.
देखो मैंने
तो
नया
कब
नया इकोनॉमिक्स बुक पढ़ा है, इसलिए के लिए मैं बोलती हूँ कि
Yes.
अब जब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कंपनी में एसेट में इन्वेस्टमेंट कर दिया है तो एसेट अमोर्टाइज हो रहा है भाई। तो अगर नीड हो या ना हो वो एसेट यूटिलाइज होगा ताकि उसका कॉस्ट स्प्रेड आउट हो जाए ओवर प्रोजेक्ट्स।
I mean,
And the other thing I wanted to say is, which is, I'm going to quote Punit, and it is a direct response to Aditya's question. जब ये ही नहीं हो पा रहा है तो डबल डेकर ब्रिज कैसे होगा?
yes, double decker. Maybe that's what they were trying with the Gokhale Bridge. And no, थोड़ा कम हो गया गैप उसमें, और गैप होना चाहिए.
Okay,
just
there's a Supreme Court judgment for Samir Raina to host programs to raise funds for disabled persons.
अच्छा ये भी आया अभी. I
Yeah, just saw.
yeah, how many programs, how much money, ये कब तक, यानी एक वन ऑफ है कि इसको हर बार क्या कैसा है?
नहीं, ये शायद वन टाइम है, शायद सुप्रीम कोर्ट का वर्डिक्ट है ऑन समीर रायना कि शायद उसने कुछ इंसल्ट किया था शायद डिसेबल्ड लोगों का on his show. That's the thing.
I read that somewhere and everybody on the panel, they all have to chip in.
No, it says to organize at least 2 events a month to raise funds for corpus setup for treatment of persons with disability.
2 a month?
2 events a month, per month.
Per month, in perpetuity?
Yeah, 2 events a month, मतलब हर month शायद.
This is okay. Wow. Isn't this like a lot?
That's a social duty for him.
पुनीत
actually.
क्या बात कर रहे हो आप? समय इसमें से भी पैसा बना लेगा, चिंता मत कर।
हाँ,
समय इसमें भी अपनी पॉपुलैरिटी बना लेगा।
he'll find
समय
yeah, he'll find
And
yeah, one question from Vigna.
this had come now when Supreme Court had pointed it out कि you have made jokes at the disabled people. In fact, a few people had come in like speaking in favor of him कि हम लोग को तो कोई, like the few artists who must have performed, maybe singers or whoever on the latent, they in fact came in support and said, but we have gained popularity, but we have achieved out of it. So it's none of your business to say whether he mean us or no, because we still found our, like some sort of, we came out, some, like they gained out of it,
Yeah.
out of the popularity. Yeah.
But
sorry, judgment is for Samir Raina plus 3 comedians, जहाँ पे उनको उनके इंडिविजुअल शोज पे इंस्पायरिंग सक्सेस स्टोरीज बतानी है related to physically disabled people, and to raise funds would support the timely and effective treatment of PWD.
this is
वेरीफाई कौन करेगा?
Kindergarten का moral science book पढ़ के judgment दे रहा है. I want to read that book. हम लोग को moral science होता था ना श्वेता?
और ये judgment is by
हम लोगों ने पढ़ा
Chief
है ना
Justice
moral
Suryakant. We hope and expect such.
अच्छे मार्क्स आए थे।
if instead they just pass the judgment saying that make all the stations in the country accessible to people with disabilities, that itself would do
That
so.
would be easy.
Then yeah, this, but I think now that they're still pissed at him because he made this one mention of the case when he was abroad. Remember when the summons came, he was on a long trip to America.
Yeah, US.
And then of course he was in no hurry to come back. तो वहां का शो में उसने वो डाला, he goes up first show after the controversy, and the first thing he says, guys, thank you for paying my legal fees. And that's funny, that's a good way to start the show at that moment. और उसका किसी ने फुटेज डाला बाहर या बोला कि ये जोक हुआ है, and judges are still pissed at that we heard the statements you made abroad on foreign.
अच्छा, so इसके लिए disabled के लिए ये काम करोगे, that's the thing.
नहीं, मीनिंग वो भी मेंशन किया हुआ है जजमेंट में, like they still have, they agree about that also.
Okay.
Yeah.
That he is still gaining popularity and support, and we are still sitting here and giving this bullshit kind of, judgments and doing our work.
And he is a smart fellow, and he'll find a way eventually. From what I hear,
Good chess player also.
I mean, I wouldn't know, but I know he's done a lot for the sport and the popularizing of the. Can you call it a sport? And जो भी है वो, but
Game.
game. Sorry, in indoor whatever game. Uh, but I don't know how good he's at the game. I wouldn't know. I'm sure इतना खेलेंगे अच्छा तो आता होगा उसको. But like मेरा इंटरेस्ट नहीं है इसमें. जो चीज में आपको कंप्यूटर ने 30 साल पहले हरा दिया वो फिर छोड़ देना चाहिए ना. विच इज माई प्रॉब्लम विद केबीसी ऑल्सो कि गूगल का दुनिया में बैठ के एडल्ट लोग ये क्यों कर रहे हैं. जस्ट मूव ऑन इन लाइफ में, जस्ट फकिंग सर्च गूगल, सर्च एआई. बट आई थिंक प्रॉब्लम ये है कि बहुत सारा लोग यूपीएससी का पढ़ाई किया और फिर उसका कुछ कर नहीं पाया, इसलिए केबीसी चलता है इतना, क्योंकि दोनों का सिलेबस तो सेम ही है ना.
बस्सी ने केबीसी में यही जोक मारा है. अमिताभ इज आस्किंग, मैंने सुना है आपने यूपीएससी किया. बोला यूपीएससी की खास बात यह है कि उसके लिए पढ़ाई कोई भी कर सकता है. it's exactly what you're saying.
केबीसी में भी ये यानी क्वेश्चन आंसर जनरल नॉलेज से ज्यादा ड्रामा एंड वही चलता है. तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि वो जनरल नॉलेज के लिए कोई देखता है वो.
People watching it want to get the answer right and वो सब. But you're right.
वो लाइव स्टोरी, वो मेलोड्रामा वही चलता है.
या पैकेजिंग बहुत है, बैक स्टोरी
वो सब तरफ हो गया है. इंडियन आइडल में भी वही हो गया पूरा.
रियलिटी टीवी में सब स्टोरी नहीं है तो फिर यू डोंट स्टैंड अ चांस.
and with the same
plays along really well.
That goes with the genre.
I don't know how many Amitabh fans are here, but मतलब उसने बीट, मतलब उधर भी उसकी एक्टिंग तो काफी अच्छी चल रही होती है.
Of course.
He is treating it as a profession. Come on, he is a professional.
Sorry.
So there was a Savarkar Rahul Gandhi case in which a CD was produced in court to show the Rahul Gandhi's controversial statement against on Savarkar, जो CD blank निकली एक्चुअली लगाने के बाद.
CD blank निकली.
या जिसमें वो स्टेटमेंट होना था जो राहुल गांधी ने सावरकर के बारे में बोला था जो कंट्रोवर्शियल था, बट वो CD blank निकली when it was produced in court and played.
So is the case dismissed now?
Not known actually. बस यही न्यूज़ था. शायद अगली डेट पड़ी होगी.
क्या टाइम पर this them trying to manage headlines.
और दूसरी एक केस थी जिसमें राहुल गांधी सेड कि मैं सबूत प्रेजेंट करना चाहता हूँ और वो केस पीछे ले ली गई. ये बोला गया कि राहुल गांधी को रिलीफ मिला है, बट रिलीफ राहुल गांधी को नहीं मिला है. रिलीफ उन्होंने वो केस पीछे ली है. गोदी मीडिया ने उसका वो इंटरप्रिटेशन किया.
There is a super chat from Vignan John 5168 and he is asking, what do you think about the surge in data centers in Andhra Pradesh? Good question. The state needs jobs but is offering $2 billion to help Google set up. Worth it when the centers create so few jobs? It's a great question. See, it sounds grand कि मैं इसको लेके आया गूगल को यहाँ पे, and I'm going to data center here, and I snatched this project from Tamil Nadu. So that's the whole thing. But the reason why they're coming here is because abroad, med amount of water and energy they need, they will not be allowed, right? If you're following the news around the data centers in the US, like there are entire towns which have risen up in revolt against the data centers. So now they'll come to a third world country. Just like the factories that I mentioned earlier, the toxic factories that have been thrown out of Europe and America are finding business in India. Same is happening with the data centers. The data centers, of course, there will be jobs, but you're right, kitna hi job hoga na? Largely it is about capacity and about maintenance. So job किधर है उसके अंदर? जो लोग यूज कर रहे हैं उसका, whatever the computing part of it, it can be done anywhere in the world. It doesn't have to be in Andhra Pradesh. तो यही है कि कॉन्टेंट लोग पैसा बनाएगा, इसमें थोड़ा हेडलाइन आएगा मस्त, एंड मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली वाटर रिजर्व्स विल बी फर्दर स्ट्रेन्ड अ लॉट, नो. And I think I read today that they're planning to privatize nuclear energy. So imagine now इसका क्या होगा आगे चल के. Already in the US, Zuckerberg and Bezos have both started buying power plants. So that is how much energy they need. कि वो खुद का ही बना देगा अभी. And imagine all of this just to fucking reply to your stupid prompts on ChatGPT. It is like, in a way, is the apt way for us to end our species. No, no. When we use the last gallon of water that we have left in trying to make a cat meme, what could be more poetic than that? And
देखो वो दिन poignant होगा जब जेमी चैट जीपीटी को पूछेगा
हाँ,
हाउ टू इम्प्रूव माई हिंगे बायो.
I think he already has done that. I don't think he uses it for therapy though. Like that is the most common use apparently for therapy.
Oh God, yes, I know some people who do that.
Yeah. Fish and food is saying hi, Puri, we met in Chennai. Hi man. I mean, although I don't remember the name Fish and Food, but I'm sure we met them because a good crowd turned up for Chennai. A very diverse crowd. Some people came from far away. People from Madurai and Coimbatore came for the show in Chennai. It was a fun show, and I think I'll go again soon. I did 3 Chennai shows this year. It is a personal record for me. Bangalore, of course, I do more often, but Chennai itna nahi karte hain. But now, thanks to Modi ji, I can take Vande Bharat to Chennai.
And just like me in Pune, Punit has found another very helpful fan who will drive him around in Chennai.
Oh yeah. So Raman used to come for all the shows like since forever, and he's from the Cyrus fam. Was another group of young people who come for like 3 of my shows, and they were very happy to take me to a local tiffin place late at night. And she was like, "अरे सर आप डिजायर में बैठोगे क्या?" हम लाइक, सर के पास साइकिल भी नहीं है. डिजायर का क्या प्रॉब्लम? Sajin Das 7937 has sent Sambar Rupee again saying, "Please uncle, judging us so hard. What I have done, LP, the reason who stacks." Okay, is this referring to the Linkin Park question, Shweta?
Yes, but can you sing the lyrics of this song, which he has referenced? अपने ही जमाने का है.
नहीं, lyrics are not important. The emotion is important. No?
I'm not a perfect person.
Like
That is the
even
first line.
even in
Was-
the popular Bryan Adams song, there are reference in the last video. People just know the chorus only. No, best days of my life. That's all we know.
Oh, हाँ, तो then इसका chorus है the reason is you.
Also, it's Huberstank, not Hoonstank.
Yeah.
Rubenstein.
Please, that is my prime youth.
Oh, this is that song. The reason is you.
Yeah.
Full.
And the reason is you.
Offended?
करके.
Are
No,
your
we should not do
sentiments hurt?
this.
Ankit, are your sentiments are hurt? Are you offended enough? Please.
हाँ, मेरी
Oh, it's
भावनाएं
not really
आहत होंगी.
possible to offend me.
वो काफी सैड सॉन्ग था वो.
Anyway, every day I have to hear Karen Bedi tell me that my musical tastes are horrible.
They are too versatile to have character. Personal attack.
My God, what a personal attack.
Now look at that. The attack is your taste is too versatile.
That it has no personality.
So it's like, see, the people who grown up on rock, they're supposed to hate on pop, But then there are a lot of people who listen to both. And they're like, नहीं, ये cheating कर रहा है, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. You have to hate the other.
देखो,
both.
Punit, I met you metalhead, then I met him metalhead, and then I'm banging my head. So,
देखो इसीलिए ना तो मुझे NH7 जैसी चीजें पसंद आती थी. मैं 1 सेकंड में अनुष्का शंकर को सुनता था, उसके बाद आई लिसन टू एन इंडियन ब्लूज बैंड फ्रॉम शिलोंग, उसके बाद मेगाडेथ.
Yes.
मेगाडेथ सुनते ही पुनीत जाग गया है. He's like, ah.
And now you can listen to all influencers lip syncing in the same concert. Dipans1164 has sent Shambha Rupees saying, "I wanted to be here. Unfortunately, forgot. Sorry, Guruji. Also, Karen is not Karen." Okay.
Karen is very much a Karen, please. I can assure.
Oh my! Shots fired.
ये
Punit,
डेली
ओके
अफेयर है
just
एक क्वेश्चन
wanted
था
to.
हाँ,
अगर तमिलनाडु में अगर गवर्नमेंट चेंज हो जाती है तो कुणाल कामरा कहाँ पे जाएगा? आई मीन हिमाचल प्रदेश या तेलंगाना, दो ही ऑप्शन होंगे। हिमाचल प्रदेश से शायद कांग्रेस निकल जाएगी, तो इन दैट केस इफ तमिलनाडु डीएमके लूजेस तमिलनाडु,
if Siddharamaiah and
अपना
Shiv,
कंट्री बनाएगा, कल्ट कंट्री बनाएगा ओशो के समान।
भाई देखो तो केरला तो है ही ना अभी भी, और
केरला या
और तमिलनाडु में चांस ही नहीं है इन लोग का।
नहीं,
AIADM
लेकिन अब ये वोट चोरी चल रहा है तो बिहार के बाद आई डोंट नो, एक्चुअली कुछ भी कर सकते हैं।
वो है, एंड द थिंग इज लाइक टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट डू दे थिंक पीपल विल बिलीव इट इज द क्वेश्चन। अभी 90% तक तो लोगों ने मान लिया, बट क्या है कि बिहार में फिर भी इट वाज दैट एटलीस्ट वी वर एक्सपेक्टिंग
या
सम,
अरे
बट
I'm a
ऑपोजिशन
Bihari.
वाज
My
नहीं था
Bihari family
ऑपोजिशन
cannot, who vote for the BJP cannot believe the results.
या
या आई थिंक व्हाट दे कैन डू इज दे कैन एटलीस्ट गेट अ क्लोज कॉन्टेक्ट। अगर इनके पास हाथ में रेगुलेटर ही है तो फिर कुछ तो करेगा ही धांधली। But I still, if I had to call it, I don't think they can win. At least not this time.
या
Vijay might have numbers, but Vijay's political acumen obviously will not match the incumbents. No? So I don't see them winning there.
Punit,
सो
can I
दैट
ask
वाज
you
द
a
थॉट की
question?
या
Sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah, no, I was like, I actually saw your Instagram story like probably 2 months ago, and you posted about this book called, I think, UG Krishnamurthy's Mind is a Myth or a Life. You went to Bangalore at that time and you had posted the story.
I'll,
And yeah, so I was like very fascinated that you read UG Krishnamurthy. Like he's one of those people who's like, matlab, people who are interested in spirituality get to find him like towards the end of their thing with spirituality or something like that. So so I was very fascinated that like you read him, and like I was just thinking, what did you think of him?
so after you read UG, then you don't need to read anything else. No, it's the end of everything. So maybe I saved myself a lot of time by reading UG. Of course, JD is the gateway drug. Very few people get to UG without reading
Huh.
JK first. So I did read JK, and I can still read JK again. No, but then after reading UG, you can't. And I think it just saves you a lot of time because you can see through all the bullshit. And nobody has talked as straight as him ever. You know, I mean, there's nothing that even comes close in terms of philosophy or the antithesis of philosophy. So and he himself, the amount of disclaimers he gives also, no, you can't fault the guy. उसने खुद लिखा ही नहीं है बुक, लोगों ने सुन के लिखा है उसका टाइप करके. He did nothing, right? He actively made sure that his name is erased from history. So I think it's the closest you'll get to the truth is UG, and it will not give you comfort, but at least it is true. And also lately, even otherwise, I lost my interest in like fiction of all kinds. वो कितना भी लोग बोलते रहे ये मूवी देख, क्या क्या मूवी है, ये वेब सीरीज देखना ही मांगता है. I'm sure it is great, but I don't have the patience for stories anymore because that's all they are stories.
Yeah.
That way, I'm glad to have read or discovered UG. And at the same time, the thing is that once you read it, you can't wish it away. You can't unread it. Also,
Yeah.
So and there are only so many books about him. So one more I read recently. I'll tell you the name. There's a guy from abroad who happened to become part of his inner circle. Like he was a seeker, and he went through everything there is to seek.
Are you talking about the book The Goner by, I think I know what you might be referring to. I think the book name is Goner, The Final Travels of UG or something.
No, this one I'll tell you if I can find out. So that guy says how he was also following JK, and after JK passed away, a lot of these people felt they felt anath. So then those people went out to UG.
Yeah, UG.
Yeah, and UG would call them JK's widows. So he was one of those guys, and he traveled with UG to the end, to the absolute end, across Europe and America and India as well. So you get a glimpse into the actual sessions, and what he was like in person. And sometimes it is uncomfortably close to what UG was. And he says in particular that towards the end, he had become so belligerent that he would just outright curse JK and everybody else, and almost felt like if he doesn't believe in anything, why does he need to curse anybody? Because even if you're cursing somebody, you're hating on them. So you क्यों कर रहा है?
Right.
He said maybe he had then reached the stage where he just didn't care at all. Or he was doing it because he didn't want people to take him seriously also. Because he keeps saying that whatever I say, people misconstrue.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to be even dissected or followed or anything at all. So it's a little uncomfortable reading that, but it is just even more clear to me abundantly that you cannot replicate what that man had achieved, or in his words, not even achieved, or it ended up as the state, whatever he was in. And people who are closest to him, who could completely appreciate what he was, and they traveled with him for years, and they still couldn't come even an inch closer to any kind of peace. And when they were with him, just the proximity would make them feel nice, but personally they couldn't break any more ground philosophically or spiritually. So that book sort of it just further proved UG's point that you cannot teach this. You can teach people the right way to approach life, or the right way to approach philosophy in general. Everybody has to find their own path, but still, I think UG simplifies your life a lot. So, and very few people still know him in India also, because he didn't build any foundation, didn't leave behind any estate. There are still some schools that run. JK का schools अभी भी है, इसका तो कुछ भी नहीं.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess he achieved what he wanted to. अभी और book है Mahesh Bhatt का. I think I read that. I just started that. So
yeah, a life or something, a life of UG or something like that.
Yeah. वो एक बाकी है.
UG a life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was just while listening. Sorry, for somebody saying something. Yeah. So while listening to you speaking just now, I was you used this word state of being. They couldn't reach a state of being. That is what is interesting to me about even do you understand what I'm saying? State of being हम जब refer करते हैं, we are saying there is something like that state. But is it just a linguistic comfort that we are referring to this term, or is it? Do you think there is something as such?
So when UG was asked the same question, sir, what is the state that you're in right now? And he would say, I am in the state of Karnataka right now. So he would dismiss that. So there's always a linguistic barrier to what you want to express. Because in the end, language also has its limitations, and people often they come back from these trips, the acid trips, they come back and they fail to express what they felt because it was beyond words, and for a lot of spiritual experiences also. But then I don't buy that, because words are all you have. Right? So है limitation, but अभी आप क्या कर सकते? You have to work within those confines. But what I can definitely say is that his sense of self was not there. So everybody sees the world from their point of view, and we use the word point of view very casually, but it's also a very real physical point of view. आप अपने नजरिए से जो आप बोलते हो, मैं देख रहा हूँ. That means everything, right? Your entire upbringing, all your beliefs, your physical well-being at that point, the geography you're in, now the AQI that you're breathing in, all of that. And that then sort of colors what you say, what you believe in. But in his case, that state of being itself was not there, right? So So he couldn't even feel his own body, in fact. Like, that's what he would say.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So there is this one theory that even your own body is also construct of the mind, right? So a
Hmm.
child is to be taught not to put a hand into the fire. No, then he learn that ये मैं है और ये surrounding है.
Hmm. Hmm.
He even that sense for him had dissolved.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you would say, like, when I'm sitting on a sofa or this thing, no, I don't feel my own weight.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. There is
No.
no person between the sheets. He used to say, like if he's sleeping, there is
Yeah.
no person between the sheets or something like that.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
while language is limitation, I think he still did very well to at least give
Hmm.
you a sense of what no, he was feeling, or rather failing to feel, in a way. So,
Right.
and earlier, he used to talk about the physical manifestation of what he was going through. Later, he stopped, because he thought if public maybe they will look for miracles and magic and spirituality.
Hmm.
He would say that, like, I don't feel the mind is here, I feel the mind is here in the sternum. So, or the heart chakra that people say.
Hmm.
So he said that is controlling my actions. Like, so people say कि अगर आपका कुछ भी नहीं है आपका दिमाग में, तो how can you cross the street? It's
Hmm.
the reflex is still there, but
Hmm.
only together when required, and again it dissolves. So, and the thing is that people will then link it to some mythology.
Yeah.
For example, there are people who would notice that there would be ash on his body, and then there are multiple accounts of this. So, and the way you would explain is that thought itself has energy. It's some kind of energy, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And in my case, every thought that arises, it immediately evaporates. So if you walk into the room, I will remember that you are so and so person, and I will talk to you because I know you. But
Hmm.
once you leave the room, you are left by mind completely.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know? So how even a pleasant exchange like what we are having right now on our live, because we are all in the same page and we respect each other, and it's a pleasant experience. But
Hmm.
still, it will hold some space in your mind, tomorrow or day after. In his case, वो भी नहीं था.
Hmm.
And perhaps that when all those thoughts they evaporate, they come out as bhasma. And if you go by mythology, like the Shiva himself, has got
Yeah.
strong body because through pure yoga, he could do what Yuji was going through in a way, maybe.
Hmm. Hmm.
Other yogis, they apply bhasma to emulate Shiva,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Correct.
So,
Right.
so the thing is that he stopped saying even these things. Then people will link him to one or the other religion or to a sect or to a chain of thought. And he wanted none of that.
Hmm.
So even for somebody who's into mysticism, into spirituality, you can see some of the connections in what he says. And
Hmm.
then multiple accounts of people experiencing things around him. But he
Hmm.
tried to downplay that like a lot. So there's
Hmm.
a story where he went to the famous temple in Mysore. No? Mysore is named after the Rakshasa Mysore.
Hmm.
Right? And there's a temple
Hmm.
on the hill. So he heard from somebody that the pujaris in that temple have kept his photos in one of the shrines. And he hated that. So
Oh.
he went just to tell them to take the photo away.
Okay.
So he goes there, and the pujaris there know instinctively that this is a great man. So they welcome him inside, and then they show him like some of the yantras which are there in the temple vault, which are not to be shown to anybody else. And there were multiple people with him, other people who said that some of the yantras they started vibrating when the guy was there. And to play it down, he said कि ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है. I get the same feeling when I'm on a commode every day. So in his mind, all of it was just so natural that he didn't place any any weight to it. No, and you would place weight when you are a person, when you have a personality, because then you have a point of view. Point of view, something is greater, something is smaller, something is important, something is not. But for him, even that did not exist. And
Right.
and he truly lived his life like that. But it's very difficult, of course, being around a person like that. And people still did it. Like they put up with all of his bullshit, But he would give them hell, like random. If you read that book,
Yeah.
it's very difficult reading.
Right.
people felt something around him,
Yes, yes.
and maybe the closest I can imagine to this state is that why do people instinctively like children and dogs or pets? No, because the innocence in that person is undeniable. Right?
Hmm. Hmm.
There will be very few people who will genuinely not like or dislike children, or pets for that matter, right?
Hmm.
You complain about the child crying in the flight, sure, no, but that's
Hmm.
momentary. And I think the reason why is that because pets and very small children don't have a personality. Once you
Hmm.
have a personality,
Hmm.
then you're a source of irritation to people.
Right.
Then you're part of sansar, no? But they
Right.
don't, you're not. And that's why people keep pets increasingly so, because they're so lonely. And in the
Hmm.
pet, at least, they see a they see consciousness without personality, you know.
Hmm.
And of
Hmm.
course, your dog will have its likes and dislikes, but that's is very minuscule, like compared to
Right.
your traits and your red flags and your green flags and your
Hmm.
orange flags and all the bullshit that comes with your the generation that you're part of. So
Hmm.
I think is that like that's what people saw in him, was that no, this guy was truly innocent in a way. Like he was
Hmm.
worldly wise and yet innocent. No, innocence is, I think, it is the lack of prejudice is innocence. Right?
Hmm.
And when
Hmm.
you have a personality, whatever it can be, right, left, center, metalhead, no, pop lover, whatever, no, there is prejudice, right? I like this, I
Hmm.
don't like this. This is
Right.
good, right? So
Right. Right. But Mira, like the one thing I had about what was confusing was he spent his entire life seeking to be that what he kind of ended up being, but
yeah,
in midway somewhere he gave up. He was not at one point he didn't care, and then it happened to him. And
yeah,
then he came back and said, like all this, in spite of all this, this
yeah,
happened to me.
not
Like
because,
a yeah, not because of it.
yeah,
So that is like, it's like he's playing a game. Like it's like a game that is playing with people. Like it seems like that, like, initially.
yeah.
But then, because I was extremely interested in spirituality at one point. And then later, like actually, when I first heard UG, firstly, I was like, I was trying to cross, like I was trying to I was firstly happy that is actually contradicting me. Like first thing, कि क्योंकि मेरे spiritual कुछ experiences. Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, this is actually better,
Yeah,
Shashank.
yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So yeah. Sorry, did anybody say so? Yeah. So I was saying, firstly, because I used to have these experiences, and this man was saying this, and I actually wanted somebody to contradict me and tell me that तू कोई hallucination में है, तुझे कुछ और हो रहा है. I was happy to find him firstly, but then I was actually having those experiences. Like I sat down with me, and very honestly, I was like, is this really happening to you, or are you hallucinating, or is this wishful thinking? But then I came to the conclusion, no, this is real. These spiritual experiences are real. So at that time I couldn't get him, but now what I get from him is what he's saying is, in spite of whatever is happening to you, like it doesn't matter. All your spiritual experiences, soul, God, it doesn't matter. The world is dog eat dog, like whatever. Like I feel that is what he's trying to say. Like in spite, कुछ भी हो, soul हो, भगवान हो, वो फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा दुनिया में. Like nobody cares. If you want to live, you have to become this person. You have to care about money. तुम्हें billionaire. He tells Mahesh, but right, you don't have to care about all this. You have to become a billionaire. All this is nonsense. So that is the thing that I'm trying to deal with lately. कि हाँ, शायद all this, even though God exists, whatever, it might be the case, but I cannot live my life in that frame because it gets too difficult because the world is not living through that frame.
So, when in the end, like he used to talk a lot about money, but that was more like satirical than anything, in my opinion. But the world is so bonkers behind money. He was like, if you come to me for guidance, then the best advice is money. For make,
Yeah.
yeah, so it is almost like a comic doing like a set on capitalism more than him preaching that Dow should make money first. That's how I see it. Because like if you see towards the end, like a lot of what he would say would be purely nonsensical, like janbujh ke. And then he had his own like 10 commandments on money and all of that.
Yeah.
So
That
that
was funny.
yeah, he was. I think he was fucking around.
Yeah.
People have already taken up arms against my thing about pets not having a personality. अभी आप
Yes.
personality वो बस नहीं है कि आपका पेट को भी आना चाहिए क्या ये सब. आपका पेट भी टोपी पहनेगा, सिगरेट पिएगा, ये सब करना है आपको. See, the thing is that you are dictating an animal's life completely round the clock. Then some of your traits will rub off on the poor person. आप उसको कुछ खिलाओगे, कुछ नहीं खिलाओगे. आप vegan, आपका पेट भी vegan है, क्या कर सकता है बेचारा. But they don't have a personality the way you and I have a personality, no? And again, when I say a personality, I don't mean like in a good or bad way, just that a personality. Not in the Indian sense कि अरे इसका personality अच्छा है. No. I want to
Whatever
personality
where
development.
they are saying whatever they are saying about the pet's personality is more emotional, and what Puneet is trying to say, that they don't have social conditioning and the prejudices, and so
Actually, the different breeds, of course, have different sort of dispositions. No? In terms of no, some are more aggressive, some are more gregarious. So सब तो होता ही है obviously. And even within the same breed, some animals will behave differently, of course. And a lot of the pets is also trauma, just like in humans, and then they act it out in different ways. वो सब तो होता है ना, but not in this way. क्योंकि Linkin Park rocks वो नहीं है ना आपका personality. वो टी शर्ट नहीं पहन रहा है ना आपकी तरह.
बट गुरुजी चैट का बात सही है, अपने को रील भी काटने का है इसी सत्संग में से.
अच्छा, रील काटने का है. चलो
हाँ, तो फिर प्लीज, पेट्स हैव नो पर्सनालिटी.
तो यही रील काटे क्या?
ये जाएगा ना वायरल, इसमें हेट कमेंट आएगा.
रेज बेट करने का नहीं यार, ऐसा दैट इज नेवर
rage bait.
Back to reality.
So people find rage eventually. So even if you don't intend it, it will find this way.
Rage against Punit.
I think we
So
Mark. Any questions from the panel, and then we'll.
एक सुपर चैट भी रह गया है.
Good.
लास्ट
Yes.
चिन्मय बाबर का.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I see it. Chinmay Babar 4626 has said, गुरुजी आपको पता है इंडिया का डंका बज रहा है एप्स्टीन फाइल्स में भी. सुप्रीम लीडर हरदीप सिंह, रब्बानी, तेंदुलकर. So I did see the report, but I don't. It's like a stray mention, right? अभी तक वो ऐसा, it's nothing big yet. So yeah, I think they can spin it saying कि डंका बज रहा है. I think हो सकता है.
अभी तो डंका IMF बजा रहा है.
कौन
IMF ने आके बोल दिया कि तुम जो इतना फांक रहे हो कि तुम्हारा GDP ग्रोथ ये रेट पे वो रेट पे है, और वो डेटा में तुम एक चीज हमेशा गायब करते हो, विच इज द इन्फ्लेशन डिफ्लेटर. तो अब क्या हो रहा है, तुम्हारी अकाउंटिंग प्रैक्टिसेस, अब हम सी दे हैव टू टेक द नंबर्स वी रिपोर्ट दैट आर गवर्नमेंट सेंस. They don't come up with it on their own. So instead what they started doing was, we don't think you're calculating the numbers in a very reliable way. So we are going to downgrade your ability to calculate your number instead of downgrading your GDP. मतलब उन्होंने बोल दिया इंडियंस को अकाउंटिंग करना नहीं आता है.
बट अगेन ये न्यूज पे तो नहीं आएगा ना.
आई न्यूज़पेपर में पब्लिश हुआ. अरे एक काम करो ना, मोदी जी का कल परसों को ट्वीट था कि 8.2% पे हम ग्रो कर रहे हैं इन द क्वार्टर वेयर द टैरिफ्स स्टार्ट केम एट द एंड. हाँ, उसके नीचे पे पढ़ते जाओ सब कमेंट, सब लोग बस वो न्यूज़पेपर आर्टिकल छाप रहे हैं. ये 8.2 कैसे कैलकुलेट किया?
It's all about headline. एक बार headline आ गया and the job is done with it. Okay, last thing on UG, I promise, because I just found a book. The book is called No More Questions by Louis Brawley.
Okay.
So there is a white dude I'm talking about who traveled with him in his last years.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a great title. No? The title itself is No More Questions.
Right. Yeah, thanks for that. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry to people in the chat who got bored, but then clearly,
So I have interesting pop culture question on UG. I know that sounds very rhetorical,
Wow.
but there is connection.
yeah.
If
Wow.
anybody has seen, if Punit, you have seen the movie Emergency in which Kangana Ranaut plays Indira Gandhi.
Huh? What?
In the movie Emergency,
Yeah.
where Kangana Ranaut plays Indira Gandhi,
Huh.
there is a scene where after declaring emergency, Indira Gandhi is considering why she did this and the evils of her infliction on this country.
Yeah.
And then she goes and approaches a guru.
Huh.
And he tells her that you have been power hungry and you
Virendra
have done
Swami.
this. And if you go back, you will undo this, and this will be the greatest thing that you do for the country. And she goes back and she reflects and she pulls off the emergency. Okay? Now, the question is that a portrayal of UG?
I'm not aware of this episode at all, and also the time matter like the 70s, right? So while UG was around at that time, he really started doing his pravachan in the 90s and later. So
And I would think twice before accusing Kangana Ranaut of being factually accurate.
वो बात भी है.
See, this is pop culture meets.
Yeah, but that's interesting. I never heard of this incident, but it can't be UG because the timeline doesn't match.
No, there was a yoga teacher who she called guru. His name was Dhirendra Brahmachari.
No. That is different tangent, Akshay.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
we are not opening that can of worms.
So that was a guru people know of hers in that era.
Yeah. चिन्मय बाबर आपको बोल रहे हैं yikes watching Kangu movie in this economy.
Liberals होकर भी.
Friend Sarnan, is it Sarnan himself? It is, I think so.
Yes, Sarnan himself.
Yeah, has sent a super chat saying, Guruji, do study impact of how just pavement encroachment in cities leads to more vehicles on road, lesser people walking, hence more obese, more pollution, more road rage, more pedestrians getting killed. Yeah, there's a domino effect for sure. Like every small, like you notice how on the highway, you think there's a jam, and suddenly it clears up because one fucker was like driving out of place. तो उसका तो butterfly effect क्या होता होगा? और today one person from Nagpur asking about double decker flyovers. we have to solve this thing first. You remember that very famous sort of interview or a press conference in which somebody was asking the Singapore Prime Minister, what can we do to increase conditions in Indian cities? He said, first you have to separate the civilians and the cattle and the vehicles, then we can talk. So, बहुत बेसिक लेवल पे अपन फेल हो रहा है.
Next satsang कब है अभी? Next satsang?
Not planned yet, but I'll get
next
to
month.
In a bit. Yeah, next month then probably.
Okay.
One chat from consultant geologist Raja, and he has said India GDP grade C, IMB. Okay, what we get is nominal GDP, not true GDP. If inflation is considered, then true HDP will be down by 1 or 2%. So then, does that mean कि 8 नहीं तो 6 तो है अपना? Is that what it means? I think this is what Sam, even you were saying, no? पहले GDP के बारे में कौन बोल रहा था?
मैं बोल रहा था. So it is roughly, yes, the estimate is that it is somewhere between 4 to 6.5.
Because calculation और base year भी matter करता है.
क्योंकि if you calculate it based on all the other input factors that are used for calculating it, it comes to somewhere around 5.8 to 6.5.
Yeah, so it is still positive, right?
Positive तो रहेगा ही, अपना बेस ही इतना लो है. Just because more children are, भाई एक सेकेंड के लिए सोचो, if you do no extra work but you just have one extra kid, GDP has gone up.
और कितनी शादियां होती है last 3 months में?
हाँ, because essentially GDP क्या है? कितना सामान खरीदा बेचा बना.
कंजम्पशन बहुत है ना,
तो कंजम्पशन होते रहेगा थोड़ा बहुत, वो जीडीपी तो ऑलवेज पॉजिटिव अपना रहेगा जब तक कुछ बहुत खराब ना हो जाए.
We've got one more super chat from Sannan, and he's giving us a movie recommendation: Train Dreams on Netflix. Beautiful movie on melancholy, lost love. Satsangis will love it. Correct. Train Dreams, okay. I'll look it up just out of curiosity. मेरे पास Netflix है नहीं वैसे. Devdas is saying, I am just sus about intentions and all, and how is even allowed to say that in China. इसकी बात चलो, okay, sorry, I'm lost there. Guys, any other questions from the panel, and I'll close it for today.
Yes, I had
Will
one question about
Netflix
comedy.
require
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
will Netflix require Aadhaar card from
Nah.
in future?
No, there was a
कुछ news
question
तो
by
आई थी.
CGI.
अरे it's
CGI
nothing.
का क्वेश्चन था ये. CGI was asking कि क्या हम कर सकते हैं कि आधार कार्ड कोड करके लोगों को नेटफ्लिक्स पे डाल सकते हैं. ऑन द अदर हैंड ही वाज सेइंग कि आधार कार्ड बहुत फ्रॉड है, और यहाँ पे वो बोल रहे हैं कि आधार कार्ड क्या हम नेटफ्लिक्स और प्राइम वीडियो के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं क्या. देयर वाज टू contradictory statements by CGI asked yesterday to advocate.
As someone who practices at the Supreme Court, I can say one thing. Our standard of reporting of what happens in the Supreme Court is horrendous in India. It is so bad that I have walked out of the courtroom to read reporting of matters I have argued and not realize it is talking about my matter.
So then, does portal like live law actually help in some way?
Yes, it helps.
It helps a bit, but the problem is you have to read the live law article and not the tweet.
Okay.
Yeah, full article, paid article.
Even the tweet verbatim, no, as far as possible.
So what happens is, let's say this thing, this hearing incident, this happened in that Samay Raina Rani Lalabadia case. What happens is sometimes when conversations are happening, the judges are probing all the people before them ki what are the things that can happen, because यहाँ पे क्या है, this is about setting up a policy. वो judge court का काम ही नहीं है. Today half the reason we are in the खिचड़ी we are with the courts today is because हमारे courts बहुत ज़्यादा adventurous होके you remember once we had to stand up for national anthems and all in the movie theaters, and then other absurdities also happened.
Yeah.
All of this happened because we had courts that were just too hyperactive. Right. And then they started withdrawing. So when they started withdrawing, people like courts कुछ कर नहीं रही. So वो थोड़ा up and down balance थोड़ा चलते रहता है कि कितने active रहे.
Yeah.
Right. But what happens is in the conversation during a hearing, a lot of times you have to ask some really absurd things. Because what you're doing is you're probing a proposal. हाँ. And वो उसका रिपोर्टिंग एक्यूरेट होना पॉसिबल नहीं है, उसका अंडरस्टैंडिंग एक्यूरेट होना पॉसिबल नहीं है, उसमें कितना सारा सब टेक्स्ट है वो एक्सप्लेन करना एक ट्वीट में पॉसिबल नहीं है.
And this guy who reports a lot on the high profile cases, Saurav Das.
Yeah.
Is
25-year journalist. Very good work.
Have you read those articles, any of those?
I have read a lot of Saurav Das's thing, and I think he's a very excitable young man who's got a very particular viewpoint, and he only wants to push that. Look, I am saying this as someone who is not a fan of Justice Chandrachud.
Yeah.
I am not a big fan.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a lot of problems with him,
Yeah.
and I'm very critical of him. But when I started reading Saurabh Das's summary of his career, 3 paragraph के बाद I was like, ये पढ़ने का कोई point नहीं है.
Okay, it is very opinionated.
It is very opinion heavy. It is very cherry picked.
Okay. So then it's not true journalism in the right spirit, you're saying, because that would be just reporting.
So the way I would look at it is someone trying to be a journalist on law without understanding law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way your judges talk, the way your lawyers talk, or how they write is very different from what common human being talks and acts and writes. So if you don't have that understanding, reporting on it is very difficult.
But then the thing is that और कोई इतना कवर करता है नहीं जितना वो कर रहा है. as a beat, almost.
So
there
actually,
are
I
a
would
bunch
recommend
of
the print and the
germ.
wire actually do a pretty decent job of covering it. There is, I'm forgetting her name. This either she's with the print or the wire. This lady with curly gray hair.
Yeah.
I think her name starts with a B. She's fantastic.
Okay.
There are unfortunately problem ये होता है कि legal reporting में there isn't really any money, right? Because जो serious audience consume करने वाला है, they already know through formal methods,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
और जो popular audience है उसके लिए वो है ही नहीं, right? मतलब it won't affect your life. Like how often has a Supreme Court thing really truly affected your day-to-day life in a way that you can say ये Supreme Court के कारण हुआ? It happens when they get a little adventurous over the top or something gets reported in an absurd way.
Yeah, that is true.
Only the government to bring an ordinance against it and reverse it.
Yeah. He's saying only for the ordinance to reverse it eventually.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I understand. तो वो प्रॉब्लम वो है, वो इंसेंटिव नहीं है वहां पे फॉर द रियली टॉप टियर जर्नलिस्ट टू गो इन देयर. एंड द सेकंड प्रॉब्लम इज बिकॉज द fight today is for how quick can you get your news out.
Yeah.
Accuracy doesn't really matter. Context doesn't matter.
Yeah. Great. Any other point at all? I think I'm going to call it quits. We are past midnight almost. Thank you everyone on the panel, first of all, for being here. I hope this was worth your time. This is a new format. So we are not married to it, but I do hope to do this once a month. That is the idea. So to Akshay's question about the next one. So I'm supposed to do one show in December, online show. So all the weekends are booked already with tour. I don't know if we'll do it, but the next Satsang IRL will do
next year.
Yeah, first weekend of Jan probably. Once I'm from Goa or thereabouts eventually. Usually I do shows around New Year, but then this year, since I was already in the promised land, then I thought, why come back?
So, next online show कौन सा है?
Online show December में not decided yet, but we will try to do. I'm out on all the weekend, so कोई बचा नहीं है Friday.
अच्छा नहीं है, fine.
Yeah, वो Friday को फिर public or we do the afternoon 12 p.m. slot sometime. That you can come for, but a lot of other people from across the Atlantic can't. So maybe one show in December, but definitely Satsang IRL will happen again.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah, first weekend of Jan, and like I said at the outset, the next live shows are Mumbai tomorrow, which might be sold out by now, I think, and then Hyderabad, Ahmedabad next week, then Thane, Pune, then Delhi, then Bangalore, and then Goa to end the year. We're planning a Kerala trip in January, so I hope that will come about, and we'll do multiple cities in Kerala. And that's about it for now. Thank you everybody who joined in live on YouTube as well. Do hit the
last question. जो content पर कल डाला था YouTube पे, is it from Punit Pania live show or it is different?
It's a newest show. It is from Punit Pania live.
Okay, that you perform normally, currently everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, no more specials now. I'll just put out like individual sets. And Punit Pania live is the newest show. So it'll also it is a different kind of approach also. Because with every show you tackle a different part of the craft. That's how I do it. Like so Guilty Bystander was more about stories, and more personal maybe. Fresh Balance is all political and current affairs. Nirvana plus GST is again personal, but it is one story and one incident. So similarly, Punit Pania Live is me trying to reach more people about relevant stuff, but in a more approachable way. And so it will feel very different than the other shows, and it's a very fun show for sure. And like all the shows, it's way over 1 hour, so I can afford to let go of 1 or 2 sets, and I'm writing new all the time anyway. So this set was from the latest show, and then we might release one more part of this set Not sure yet, but we might in December. So that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good
So,
night.
Thank you.
chat में there was a question about Ekta's banner, and that is the Hogwarts banner. Never take a sleeping dragon. Yeah.
Actually, I didn't notice. Sorry. Eh,
It's a curtain. My daughter is a Harry Potterhead. मैं तुमको उसका रूम दिखाऊंगी तो डिस्प्ले हो जाएगा थोड़ा. उसके बेड के ऊपर इधर पॉटरहेड एंड प्राउड का लगाया हुआ है कुछ भी. लेट मी सी इफ आई कैन वेट. अब माइट एज वेल मैं तुम लोग को टूर भी दे देती हूँ. See this
This is
the wall.
something I would love.
These are the hand painted
I can see.
walls of a room.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm not an artist, but I designed it. The clock behind is a Harry Potter clock. And this is why this I cannot flip the camera. What is this? And this
These are
is
millennial
Potterhead and
problems.
Proud.
Potterhead and Brown. Yeah, I think better than being a pothead at least. Okay, sorry about that.
11 साल की है वो.
बच्ची है वो पुनीत.
Is it still a big thing like with the younger generation, Harry Potter, because the books have stopped coming, right? Yeah, अभी भी आता है क्या नया वाला?
नहीं,
नहीं,
books
नहीं,
have
अभी नहीं
stopped
आते.
coming.
A big thing. It's still a big thing.
It's still a big thing.
And
Book clubs and all में भी काफी बात होती रहती है. Quizzes होते रहते हैं. मतलब everything is, it's still relevant, you can say.
and despite J.K. Rowling being cancelled, it still continues.
Yeah,
We separate art from artist, okay? This is my favorite franchise. I shall defend it.
हमको पुनीत एक बार आर्ट एंड सेपरेटिंग आर्ट फ्रॉम आर्टिस्ट पे बात करनी है.
I'm asking in case KBC पे ये क्वेश्चन आया तो क्या बोलने का?
How much relevant this is? ये किंडर में से निकला है और my daughter has the whole collection. This is how much relevant it still is.
Oh wow, ये सब किंडर जॉय से निकला ये सब.
हाँ.
अरे इतना सब खाया भी उसने यानी.
नहीं. No. So the thing is, because she is well known Potterhead, उसके किसी भी फ्रेंड के पास जो भी आ रहा था उसको देके गए सारे. You have the collection deal and you just throw it away.
How sweet, man. Ashutosh in the chat is saying I'm 33 and I have Harry Potter action figures at my desk.
It's very, very relevant.
All right, thank you, Karen, Bedi, Arvind, Sam, Shashank, Ankit,
hello.
Lama, sir.
अरे
Wait.
आमचे host has re-entered the
अरे.
chat.
बोलने के लिए आया है.
Lamas, Millionaire Care, we didn't hear from you, but I hope you were here and I hope you'll come again. Sam, next time.
I was Punit bhai.
Yeah. Next time, please don't book. I'll send you the link directly. And we'll do this again in a month's time. And the regular satsang, of course, continues next week. See you guys then. Thank you.
Wait. एक सेकंड. नीत आप एक बार चैट देखो ना, Zoom का चैट once.
Zoom का chat.
हाँ, एक बार देखो, मैंने सुपर चैट्स भेजा and see if we have missed anything.
नहीं सब सुपर चैट्स हो गया जेमी.
ये तो हर बार सो के आता है, फिर हम लोग को 2 बार पढ़ना पड़ता है.
अरे.
I think Shweta also had an eye out for it, so.
Yeah, नहीं, this was before I told Shweta to have an eye out for it.
नहीं मैंने पूरा स्ट्रीम
अच्छा,
देखा.
ठीक है. And एक अभी recent आया last one from Sarnan. He's saying movie recommendation Train Dreams on Netflix. Beautiful
अरे वो
movie.
भी हो गया.
wow.
जेमी ड्रीम
हो
में
गया.
से निकल तू.
ठीक है, चलो guys फिर.
Imagine sleeping on the job. ये है zenji तुम्हारा.
अरे.
I think he was actually sleeping on the job. पर अभी रहने दो.
Okay, guys. Bye. See you soon next time. Thank you. Bye. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Bye.